Hello. That was weird. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so now my mic should be working. I keep having issues when I like disconnect it and plug it back in, but okay, yeah, I should have just taken a little bit more time to fix that. So yeah, anyway, welcome back to another Fear the Old Lore casual Dark Souls 3 playthrough to get more footage for more lore videos. Hope everybody's had a good weekend, and it's nice to see all of you again. So Blue Mew, Mortis Volt, Gabriel, Nymphalis, welcome back to the stream. Darren Ajad, welcome to the stream. You said, woo, finally caught a stream in time. Long time fan here. Love my Bloodborne series. Thank you very much. I am not quite as familiar with Dark Souls 3, but we are having fun with the chat, going through, looking at things, and learning a bit more together. So I am glad you're able to join us. And Merk Merkington, welcome back. You said finally early for once. Hey, everybody. So yeah, I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Got the stuff that they needed to do done and all that. So the last episode, we finished up with the Smoldering Lake and pretty much all the Demon Prince stuff down there, or Old Demon King, rather. And I did remember that I forgot to look at a description for an item right before coming down into like the Covetous area. Was it Covetous area? One of the bonfires, or maybe it was the Smoldering Lake area. So I did forget to look at the Witch's Ring, so we'll go ahead and do that now. So here we go. The Witch of Irithyll and her daughter, scorched by the flame of chaos, taught humans the art of pyromancy and offered them this ring. Greatly boosts pyromancies. Every pyromancer is familiar with the parable that tells of the witches espousing the need to fear the flame and teaching the art of pyromancy to men in hopes that they might learn to control it. So, George Clowney, welcome back to the stream. Your name always cracks me up. And Mortis says, time for your favorite and least favorite area at the same time, Irithyll. That's interesting. Yeah. So we did finish up the Smoldering Lake there. It seems like I'm having some issues again, which it looks like it's just on YouTube's area because I'm not really dropping any frames here. Yeah, that's annoying. But okay. Yeah, we'll head into Irithyll next, and before I forget, I did look at some things because unfortunately I really don't know Dark Souls 2 stuff well at all. When we killed the Night Slayer Sorg, we got the Night Slayer's ring, and looking at this, it looks pretty much identical and functions identically to the Ivory Warrior ring from Dark Souls 2, and that was the ring of the Guardians of Irithyll1, and so potentially Sorg could be related to those Guardians of Irithyll1. I'm not sure, but maybe not, because he's known as the Night Slayer, so maybe he killed all of them and then stole their ring. So just some more food for thought. And then I thought I had some other notes. I think that'll be it for now, as far as those notes go. Okay, so now we'll start to head back towards Irithyll. I don't know, I said back towards it. It's our first time going over here in this game. So Mortis says, you both love and hate Irithyll. You love post-Pontiff Irithyll, but you hate pre-Pontiff Irithyll. And Khaldoon Salim, welcome. Hello from Iraq. Big fan of my Bloodborne content. It's nice to have you, and welcome. George Clowney says, thoughts on the Witch of not being the bed of chaos? So Witch Irithyll is the bed of chaos. I know Kalana, at least in the Japanese game, makes it really clear that they're related. And I think they just kind of missed one word in that translation of one of her dialogues. But yeah, the bed of chaos is definitely supposed to be her. I thought there was an item over here, maybe not. So yeah, coming into this bridge, we'll finally see one of those big beasts that I was talking about, Sullivan's Beast. And I don't remember why we were talking about it before, but yeah, this is the one that I was talking about a long time ago. Oh, with the eyes. So yeah, potentially Sullivan's eyes here could have caused this thing to spawn in. Oof. Not trying to pull out my binoculars yet. Interesting. don't remember if I ever got a visceral on them. So yeah, this will connect the idea that those beasts are related to Pontiff Sullivan's eyes, because we do get his right eye from killing that one, and so I'll check that out after I rest of the bonfire. And before I forget, like the eyes might be what related to the Dancer and Vort transforming into more beast kind of enemies, although not like exactly the same as in Bloodborne style beasts. And so let's check out the right eye, and I'll look at chat right before. So we already got the left one, I think from the Soul of Vort, as a matter of fact. So this is the right one. Nymphalie says, Irithyll is beautiful and painful, yeah. Mortiz says, yeah, the description says he killed the knights. Okay. Nabo makes it much better. Merc says, you loved Irithyll your first time through because it reminded you of Cold and Orlando, then you actually ended up in Cold and Orlando. Dionysus, welcome back to the stream. Hello, fellow Ember Twins. You love the prey animation? Cleric Beast vibes? Yeah, especially because you're on the bridge. For sure, I get that, yeah. And Phobos, welcome back to the stream. And then Dayran Ajad says, kind of looks like it's the gaping dragon got busy with the Scourge Beast. You're definitely not wrong with that. So this is the bewitched ring that Pontiff Sullivan bestowed upon his knights. Boosts attack as long as attacking persists. Knights who peer into the black orb are lured into battles of death, transformed into frenzied beasts. No wonder the Pontiff only provides these rings to those dispatched to foreign lands. So yeah, this idea of battles to the death was one of the major themes of Bloodborne that Miyazaki talked about in a few of his interviews, or at least like maybe some more of like the press coverage leading into the game. Like that was supposed to be one of the things that combat really emphasized. So when you take this idea that continuing to attack enemies increases your attack power, and then you combine it with recovering HP from successive attacks, it really gets like the whole like Bloodborne frenzied beast combat style of attacks just through like Pontiff Sullivan. So I don't exactly know how directly connected those ideas are, but maybe this is a kind of more of like an Easter egg. But it is a bit confusing why the Pontiff would have both the left eye and the right eye be able to kind of transform people into beasts. Maybe it has something to do with the Profaned Flame, or maybe something to do with the Painted World, although that claim seems much less likely. So yeah. So Phobo said, you heard me say beasts and your brain answered all over the shop. Ortiz says, it's beautiful, George. It's the most beautiful place in the game. Oh. Plus you think the Undead Crypt is the worst area in Dark Souls 2. You hate that place. Oh, so this is a dev note because I'm not online right now. So yeah. May as well bring a doll to be granted passage. So yeah, if you don't have the small doll, you won't be able to enter Irithyll. And I guess one of the cooler aspects of like coming into Irithyll is when you look at the moon, it is a bit more reminiscent of like the Dark Moon Covenant stuff. But it's certainly a very, very pretty area. But also very aggravating at the same time. Dang, I think I need to back up to even get like better visual of everything. So yeah, the chapel to the right is where we'll find like Pontiff Sullivan, and then up and to the left is going to be like the ruins of Anor Londo. Right now, oh damn it, I didn't even click record. Oh, that's so annoying. I forgot. So here I am trying to be all cinematic, and then we dealt with the beast. I don't even remember the last time I save scummed. Let me think. It might have been right before the Demon King. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm just gonna reload everything now that I think about it, because it's just kind of annoying to go back and miss that footage. Just because I do think the beast is really cool. Alright, so after I download this, I'll be sure to hit record. I think with my mic being off, that distracted me. Although, I mean, I really should have done a better job. I should probably have like a full-on checklist before I begin. So that was my bad, my goof. So George Clowney asks if it's the same doll from Dark Souls 1. No, if I remember correctly, like the doll in Dark Souls 1 looks more like the doll for a little girl, whereas this one kind of looks like a Dark Moon Knight. And I'll show that off again in just a moment. Alright, so now I've started recording again. So my apologies for my technical incompetence. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty much exactly where I thought. So I guess we get to start off with a boss fight that we've already done twice. We're gonna summon Great Swamp Lady Cuculus, and then after we deal with this boss, we're gonna go and go to Cornyx's cage to go get her spotted whip, which is something that I did forget to read. So I guess this kind of works out. I mean, this fight isn't super difficult, but you know, watch me like die after just saying that. So that looks cool. So Phobo says, you have any idea what was up with the babies that were going to be stuck to fort? It's like the weirdest thing in the game. No, I really don't. And maybe no, that's just kind of a dumb idea. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe they would have been related to like the children that Pontiff Sullivan was killing or whatever. Oh, I keep thinking, oh, he's gonna explode. He's gonna explode. He's gonna explode. just too slow. Like I knew better. He's gonna explode again. Why did he do that? Wait, did I just kill him? Yeah. Okay. That was actually a pretty cool death scene, so yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so that was that. Now we're gonna go back to Cornyx's cage to get his set as well as the whip. So George says the Shrine of Amoria is really pretty for sure, but the homing spells are so out of left field from the rest of the game. Even worse if you wore heavy armor. Scott, welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you again. And Infali says the animation for when the Demon King does when he gets to 10% health is really sad. Maybe I keep missing it just because I'm like HUDless. Did you have a stroke while typing that? What the hell? Do the thing when he can't get up. Yeah, this. And then Phobo says, you wonder if the Demon King was like what they originally wanted to do with the Fire Sage Demon. Yeah, I think so. Like, the Fire Sage Demon is kind of a nondescript. Like, he's really not too different from, like, the other demons in Dark Souls 1. So we could just probably chalk that up to not having enough time to do anything that they wanted with Izalith. This is a really unfinished area. So we already got this stuff yesterday, or not yesterday, but Friday. So the only real difference is the spotted whip. We've already looked at Cornyx's stuff once when we killed everybody, which I might do again now that I remember, just so I might be able to buy all of Arena's dark spells and do all of that stuff. But I might need to save up a little bit of souls for that. So this is whip modeled with venomous looking spots, favored by some female pyromancers of the Great Swamp. As its noxious appearance would suggest, damage from this whip poisons its victims, slowly but surely guiding them to their deaths. Yeah, so that's not terribly important stuff, but yeah. This is one of the few, like, super easily missed weapons in the game. As, I mean, not everybody plays like me, obviously, but I'm pretty stubborn and I like to solo the bosses when I can. So summoning somebody to get an item like that is a bit maybe uncharacteristic of the games. Alright, so I'm probably going to go back to Firelink Shrine. How many souls do I have? I'll go see how much like some of the Dark Miracles cost, but I'll probably save scum it here, and then I might do some really evil stuff again to deal with Irina. It's not towards her at all. Oh, I've only got 19,000. Okay, so I'll probably just go back to Irithyll. And then do the Cirrus stuff, and then probably do this. Because I think last time I might have just like leveled up, but now that I'm going to try to save the souls for a little bit, I won't worry about that. But I did forget when we first came over here and like unlocked the tower to go talk to Snuggly the Crow and get the extra Estus flask part, or shard, or whatever it is. So yeah, George Clooney said you thought of it as kids for the slime guy to eat. Yeah, for Aldrich. And so Merc says, after he explodes, it's not a threat. It's kind of sad. Reminds you of Sif limping. Sif limping is way, way worse, but sure. That Sif fight is a little bit brutal. If the difficulty doesn't want to make you quit the game, that limping will.
You. Me, pickle pea. Me, bumperum.
So this one's probably not even called Snuggly. I don't remember what the crow's names are. Yeah. We'll drop down, I think, and then come back in this way.
You. Me, pickle pea. Me, bumperum.
Get the Estus shard, which we'll need to give to Andre. So I probably should look at what all the crow drops again, because I forget off the top of my head what items are worth exchanging. But yeah, you can use the crow to exchange items. Sort of. So the Covetous silver serpent ring. Oh, I might want to equip that for the beast and whatnot. So that's pretty much it for Firelink. I think maybe Hawkwood leaves a shield somewhere, but I don't exactly remember where that is, since we messed up the thing with Andre. And we're not going to offer the cinders yet, because it's fun to do all of that at once.
It wasn't neat.
Wait, I had two? Figures.
Pretty be careful.
Now, like, once you get to a certain point, it doesn't really seem, at least to me, for the most part, that you need the Estus to heal. You just need to play better. So, I typically die before I run out. Where were we gonna go? Towards Volnir. Okay. So yeah, that was a little bit of a detour, but at least it was fruitful, I guess. So, where were we? So Phobos says, I got it the first time I fought it, actually, the death animation. Okay. So George Clowney says, speaking of demons, what does everyone think about Ceaseless? Is he a brother to witches, like by blood or like by being a demon? So it sounds like it would have been by blood, because I guess like the demon Fire Sage is technically the very first demon. Yeah, but Ceaseless Discharge, oof, that's a pretty sad story there. And so George asks, is that the same demon that Lorethrough killed? I'm not sure. I think like you can interpret the old Demon King as potentially being the one that Lorethrough killed, but yeah. Or what was he called in Dark Souls 2? I don't know. And so we did that. Maybe I want to save it just before doing this beast. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. And then I'll show off the doll first. So this is probably a key item. But yeah, this is the small doll for Irithyll. It kind of looks like the Dark Moon Knight, and it's got like that crescent moon in the background. And then maybe this time I'll actually like pan the camera around. So let me... Oh. Need to actually exit properly if I don't want the annoying thing to come up. Also, it's probably just smarter to do. Not that I've ever really had any of these games like completely delete themselves on me, but why start now? So Nymphalia says, pretty sure by blood he was her only son or something. Merc says, Ceaseless was born after the Witch Isolus transformation. Yeah, it's a bit weird how they kind of handle some of that stuff sometimes, but considering like he's crying over the memorial to one of the daughters, it seems like he would have been like an actual blood brother to me. So George says, you think so since he's not in the opening cutscene when the witches make the chaos flame. He leaves it outside by the glitch tree next to a grave. Okay. So Josh Williams, welcome in. You said you can get Solaire's armor from the crows if you trade Siegbrow, Homeward Bone, Lightning Urn, and Seed of a Giant Tree. Okay. Thank you. I remember the Lightning Urns were important for something, so that helps. Because I think I bought one, or maybe I just kind of saved over it this time. So yeah, the entrance of the Soul-Living Beast is really cool. So apparently that's kind of, according to like Lance McDonald, that might have been like one thing that could have happened with the Cleric Beast in some cut content, because they couldn't get that shortcut from Cathedral Ward into the Great Bridge. It didn't end up working out, but it would have been able, or you would have been able to like go kill Gascoigne first and then have that thing appear. And so apparently like a fog wall would have spawned in front of you, and then the Cleric Beast would have screamed and like jumped up behind you, kind of like this. So it seems like they do, like once they get like attached to an idea, they do try to like kind of keep iterating on it until they get it. So we fight like another beast on a bridge. With, oh sweet, that's cool though. Definitely worth respawning for that, even if I lose the Ember. Now that we're actually recording. Okay. Dynamic Flashy, welcome back. Ola yourself. You know, I understood what you were saying, Clowny. Thank you though. I do appreciate that, because I'm forgetful and don't know the quest nearly as well in Dark Souls 3. As evidenced by me already screwing up patches and that bit of Hawkwoods. Ooh, I thought... Oh, spoke too soon. And so Josh Williams says you can also get the shield if I trade the Mendicant Staff, which you get from the Cobra Summoners from the Archdragon Peak. Okay. Thank you. So Blue Muse says fighting on a bridge is also a big thing in Japanese lore. Where's Gilgamesh gonna drop down from the Final Fantasy series? Big nostalgia right there. Cheesing some of its AI, but whatever. Oh, it's dead this time. Well, that was super cool anyway. Feel like that's the true move to do with Guts' sword right now. So I think now I want to Ember up to deal with Sirius' stuff. I might need to what's it called? Light the next bonfire and then come back. I don't exactly remember where her summon sign is. So we get the bone, which is nice. So this is the barrier into Irithyll here, obviously. So having the doll is what allows us to actually like go through it. So I'll go back and then show off some more of like the camera views again. So I guess that over there is supposed to be Lothric. Yeah. And then maybe that over there is supposed to be where we fought the Great Tree? I don't remember. It seems like that's where it would line up. Oh crap, and I also need to buy all of Sigurd's stuff. Well, I guess that'll be two birds with one stone. Because if I save scum for all of Arena stuff and then buy it and then like reset it, I could just go ahead and buy like the Katarina stuff. And I forgot to equip the Serpent ring. Or read it. Okay, here it is. So I'll go ahead and look at the ring after chat, and then we'll do the Seer stuff. Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Okay. George Kalani says, you wonder if these guys used to be Silver Knights. Reminds you of your Heavensward DLC from Final Fantasy XIV, if anyone played that. I kind of wanted to play Final Fantasy XIV again, but just, it was kind of a bad idea. Like, I renewed my subscription and everything, like the last month or something like that, but with my channel stuff kind of taken off, I've been focusing a lot more on that and haven't had as much free time, unfortunately. Because I only played 14 a little bit, like when it first came out, after it became like the Realm Reborn stuff. Flashy says, you recently realized that if you run past this beast, it'll show again in the swamp area later in this level? Ooh. Cheeto, welcome to the stream. You said you seriously love the combat evolution from Bloodborne to Sekiro. And then, Clowny, I don't know what you're asking about with the doll first. For, like, the Seer stuff, or just to see the beast in the swamp? Flashy says, yeah, but you don't have to fight it here. You can just run straight to that bonfire, and the beast can't get past the barrier. Okay. Dayron Ajad says, yeah, you can definitely see the cleric beast analogy, with Sullivan's beast also having become sort of a sacred warrior who turned into a beast and is now guarding a bridge into a secular-ish area. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. So thank you guys for those comments. And so this is the Covetous Silver Serpent ring. It's a silver ring depicting a snake that could have been but never was a dragon. Fallen foes yield more souls. Snakes are known as creatures of great avarice, devouring prey even larger than themselves by swallowing them whole. If one's shackles are cause for discontent, perhaps it is time for some old-fashioned greed. So there's actually kind of a lot going on with this description. Let me get a little swig of tea and then talk some more. It's interesting to me that it says that the snake could have been a dragon but never was, because these rings are most affiliated with Frampt and Koth from Dark Souls 1. I think you get one of the rings from one of those two. I don't remember off the top of my head, so I could be wrong there. But at least for the Dark Souls cosmology, this reinforces that snakes are creatures of greed, and so Aside from that, in many other cultures, snakes can be associated with the moon and the cycles of rebirth because the way that they shed their skin is kind of like how the moon sheds its skin, and as a part of that, they can also be symbols of immortality because they literally get reborn before they like actually die. So that's why like when they molt their skin or shed their skin, they emerge as a new snake. And so there's always the classic symbol of the Ouroboros as well of two snakes eating each other in like a figure eight kind of a pattern there. So this last paragraph here, if like one shackles are cause for discontent, perhaps it is time for some old-fashioned greed, is kind of interesting because this idea of shackles is often tied to people holding on to their humanity or like their manhood. I guess that's a terrible way to phrase it in English, but humanity also has like that other meaning in Dark Souls, which I'm trying to get away from by making such a terrible statement. So yeah. Aside from that, we do also have like Koth trying to have men get rid of their shackles of the gods by having them overthrow the gods and undo the cycle of the fire and all that. So definitely some interesting things to think about there. So George says Koth and Framta are in Dark Souls 3, the stable church and on the railings of the castle. Well, yes and no. I mean, they're both dead by the times of Dark Souls 3. But if you want to count those goofy like statues, you're not wrong. So okay, I'm at full health. Maybe I should equip the ring. Maybe not. Okay, whatever. We'll just deal. So answer Seers of the Sunless Realms call for cooperation and be summoned as a phantom. Yeah, Scott, for some reason I thought manhood would be a better idea than manliness. So that's Sirius walking like a badass forward. She buffs herself, and then she gets invaded. I don't remember if I can actually hit her or not, like Bloodborne style. I wasn't trying to use my binoculars, but that's what I get.
Thank you for your kind assistance. Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
Crichton the Wanderer's defeated, returning to our world. So now we should be able to go see her again at Firelink Shrine. Yeah. Flashy always struggled with this phantom. Yeah, maybe I'm just overpowered or like overleveled, or it could just be like the Guts Greatsword just is that ridiculously strong for this area. Okay, may as well just get some of that footage that I failed to get earlier. So yeah, like I was saying, like there's that whole like dark moon in the distance on the top right. And so we get the Sullivan's cathedral over there. Maybe I should start here and then just pan to the left. I don't know. This might be a little bit fast with like the 30 FPS of this game. Alright, that'll be decent enough. Not my favorite, but it's okay. Perhaps you should have used an Ultra Greatsword. Yeah, this is definitely a different run for me. I know like a lot of people just like two-hand their Greatswords, which is good for them. I don't know, I just like how damn easy having a shield literally makes everything. But this spot's actually pretty decent from farming, from what I remember. The Rime Moss Clump, which is good against ice, so we're like in this whole icy area. So it is interesting that this area is like covered in snow and ice. Perhaps that has to do with like magic, with like the Ashen Estus flask, or maybe just something more soul adjacent. It's been a while. I have the feeling that maybe some of the doors were breakable. I might be misremembering, or there might be NPCs talking in them. I know there will be like patrolling knights. And I should probably look at the fountain and stuff, because it probably has some cool stuff. Okay. So it looks like these flowers might be similar to the ones that we find over by the Cursewood Great Tree, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting it and mangling it. Like the blue ones. Weird. Okay. So maybe that's a figure of a woman? I almost want to say like with a child, but that definitely doesn't look like it. And those things over there kind of remind me of the pilgrims, just without the shells on their backs, but I don't think they are pilgrims just yet. Okay, so that's nothing. So this dude looks like one of the Archdeacons almost that we fought with the Deacons of the Deep. It's like the hat. It looks like a priest of some kind. Yeah, so she's weird. Maybe she's supposed to represent either like Guinevere or Gwendolyn, although I wouldn't think Gwendolyn just because there's no snakes. Maybe the Queen of Lothric, who knows? So El Degusto, welcome back to the stream. Ahoy, ahoy yourself. And then behold a pale blood sky. Oh, you wonder how they chose this location for Anne Orlando. Yeah, it's weird. And then Scott says, you always thought the iciness was caused because there's no illusion of sun anymore. That's also a fair point as well. But by the same token, like if the eclipse thing is going on, I don't remember exactly how the timeline works. If the eclipse thing is going on, maybe like the moon here is an illusion. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that gets more developed later. It's been a while since I've played. And then Brisson says, oh, welcome back to the stream. You said, you just realized this weekend that you can see a bit of Irithyll shrouded in mist from the high wall. Okay. Isn't it because of the Painted World and Sullivan coming from there? So yeah, that's the other possibility. Like, the ice and whatnot in this area could be related to like the Painted World. I don't think these ones, yeah. So these are just walkers. And so this thing right here kind of resembles the dancer. I don't really know what the deal is with all the spirits here. Like you can't interact with them in any way that I know of. So maybe it just shows like people, Gwendolyn or not Gwendolyn, or the Sullivan or the Aldrich have messed with. I don't know. So we get some of these night dudes who can use like that dark magic. Oh. Font of Night Curved Sword, which is pretty cool. I think that was already available in the shop, but I'll take a free one for sure, yeah. Nothing here quite yet. And this place should be locked, but you can get Gnaw from over there if I remember correctly. Something like that. So George says that it's the ghost of the dancer in Vort. That one sees me. Need to get it to actually like approach rather than casting all these damn spells. We aggroed both of them. It's a little bit annoying. At least the one's running at us. That reach. Oh, it's only a 2-shot. Holy shit. Yeah, so my first time coming here, like, these dudes were, like, tough as shit. I guess their little crowns also resemble what's on the statues here. So that's kind of interesting. We get a large Titanite shard, which is brilliant. We always use those. Although I guess at this point now we need chunks for the sword, if I remember correctly. What are my souls at? 30,000. Maybe that's enough to do what we need. We'll proceed a little bit more, and if it gets tough in the next spot, which it probably will, I might just go back to the shrine for now. Save scum, and then like kill everybody again. And get killed by people. So this spot was always kind of cool to me. We get... I have my binoculars this time. Oops. Forget like what kind of status effect they do. Blood gem, that's cool. The budding green blossom and the large hole of a nameless soldier. There's nothing over here. I just kind of like this, like little pauses in these games. I did it again. So if I remember correctly, like those like staffs are supposed to represent the profaned flame. I might be misremembering there. But yeah. Oh, didn't roll far enough. So those guys can be a real pain in the ass to deal with. You're supposed to just kind of like run up. Not like that though. Sweet, we got a claymore, which we've already had a couple of those, I think. And so there's another one up there. That's cool. It's got like an icy kind of thing. Oh, did I really just hit all three? Okay. I don't remember where he aggroes from, or if, I think you can sneak up on him. Oh, that was a lie. And most of the time I just literally run past everything in this first area, just because it can get a little bit tedious. Okay, yeah. So now we should have a free moment to catch up. And so, I think you can also see like a little bit of where you can go later on. That's the big old chapel over there. Yeah. So Phobo says the Dancer Spectre is the last thing left from the Dancer NPC. Okay. Flashy says, you read somewhere that it's the moment Dancer and other Outrider Knights were exiled from Irithyll. Okay, so it's like a snapshot of a memory. Interesting. So Aldegusta says, is Lordran supposed to be like a country or region and places like Ulasil are cities within them? Or Lordran is like a region like Europe and Greece with independent city-states? I don't know. I think Lordran is like a country or region and places like Ulasil are cities within them. Or Lordran is like a region like Europe and Greece with independent city-states. Is that It's kind of hard to say. It sounds like in certain interviews that Miyazaki's given is like Lordran is kind of like maybe the afterlife of the world of men to a certain extent, or like a realm that's separate from the world of men. But within it, it sounds like Lordran would probably be like a city-state whose territory of influence probably extends a large region, at least in the time of Gwyn, and then like maybe it's a little bit harder to say after that, but I guess there's a decent amount of autonomy after that. I think this one has dogs surrounding him. Oh no, just the two together. Oh, I think we can back or catch one by surprise, and then the other one we can just kind of deal with. I like to kill the one without the shield first, because sometimes the shield ones are just kind of easy to shield break. Oof. And then that delayed roll. Well, that ghost just scared the crap out of me. So we got the gauntlets. Oh, and we also picked up the sword earlier. So yeah, we can check those out. So yeah, those are like the big roamers for now. So this is like the hardest part right here. So actually we're kind of swimming along here. The Pontiff Knight Curved Sword. Curved swords wielded by the Pontiff's Knights, frigid spirits that linger in Irithyll. The large blade appears to be eaten away by insects, making it lightweight but also brittle. So this idea of it being eaten away by insects might be related to like the kinds of dark pieces of humanity or bugs of the deep that might be present in people like Irina, and we'll talk about that pretty shortly, hopefully, actually. But yeah. Saturn, welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you again. And so... Flashy says, you always thought Dark Souls 3 really begins in this area. You know, I kind of know exactly what you mean, and I think to a certain extent you're right. Like, this is the point where the game really seems to, like, open up and gives you a bit more freedom. But, yeah. More Twinkling Titanite. I don't think that guy saw me. Not that he can, like, really chase me from over there, I don't think. So if I remember correctly, like going straight forward is like a super bad idea. Oh, but the stuff to the left in the cathedral can be a bit annoying. Maybe I should save it here, because I need to remember what we want to do with all the Henri stuff. Yeah, so going straight forward is a really rough time, because you've got the two Outrider Knights plus like the mage dude. And that's just a bad time, facing more than one enemy at once. I don't think I need to, like, save it here, but I'm just being a little bit paranoid, I suppose. And then the gauntlet. I keep forgetting to, like, actually go through everything. The Phobo says, you wonder what the lore behind those mooks having the same hair as the Nameless King is. Interesting, same asset. You always thought of Lordran as like Mount Olympus. Ramp calls it the City of the Gods after all. Yeah, I think Mount Olympus is a pretty fair comparison. Like, in Greek mythology, it's supposed to be a real place and more of a spiritual place that you obviously can't get to in real life unless you go to Mars. But yeah. Phobo says, you wonder if the dancer NPC originally tied into Sullivan being the final boss. Maybe telling you to go to him like Frampton and the other characters. If they didn't change them... Sorry, you missed a letter. They didn't change the area the bosses fought in, then the endgame was going to be in Anor Londo, which makes some sense. Sorry if you're rambling too much. No, it's fine to ramble. Like, I appreciate all the takes that you guys are bringing into the chat. Yeah, and like Colt says, never apologize for spinning those brain gears. Rambling is El Gusto's job. Yeah, so now I'm just trying to remember exactly how I would like to proceed ahead. So part of me wants to go back to the Fire Lake Shrine to deal with like the arena stuff and getting all that footage. I mean, I could do that anytime, I suppose, but the Henri stuff, I might want to do it after Cirrus. Or like, I might want to go see Cirrus first. So that's some pretty cool jump in. So I guess this would be the Dancer, and then maybe this would be Vort. So maybe that's their exile from the area. Yeah, that's a cool thought. It kind of reminds me of some of the things in like Final Fantasy X. Probably won't go into too much detail about that quite just yet, just because it might be a bit more spoiler territory for like a different game. A very old game, but interesting stuff nonetheless. A little bit of slowdown. So I guess those are just flowers on it. And get people praying. So this area will be closed off for now. I don't think there's any treasure right here. Oh, I lied. I didn't think I could go through that tree that I wanted to, just more curious than anything. So this is the special dangerous chapel worth dealing with. I mean, like, it's not super dangerous. Okay, this is not what I needed to worry about. So yeah, if you miss some stuff here, it's really easy to kind of like screw up some of the endings of the game. And I don't remember if I actually need to do it now. So we have Henri here. So if I talk to her, or if I fail to talk to her right now and go back to Firelink, I don't exactly remember what's going to happen. So I'm just not going to do it now. Proof of a Concord kept. So I'm trying to remember where it is. Because I'll reload this after all anyway. But there is like a little secret here, and I know there's... Oh, okay, I remember. There is a way to reveal it a bit better. I just don't remember what reveals it. So yeah.
Oh my, you are. But I'm afraid we require more time. As long as it takes a dark droplet to fall, that is all. Our gracious Lord. Oh, but as...
I don't think I actually had the talk dialogue up.
Oh my, you are. But I'm afraid we require more time. As long as it takes a dark droplet to fall, that is all. Our gracious Lord.
So this is probably the pilgrim that Henri met, who told Henri to come over here. And so if we leave them be, the pilgrim will kill Henri. And so you could kill the pilgrim beforehand, and that'll kind of spare Henri for one of the endings. So I might actually want to save this to my USB stick, now that I think about it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and kill the pilgrim now, go back to Firelink, do the random stuff there, reload my save, save it to the USB, then come back and then like proceed normally to do like the Henri spouse Londor hollow ending stuff, I guess.
But why? Lady Uria.
So we get the chameleon spell, and that kind of explains why we couldn't see the pilgrim over there. I may as well check that out now, and I'll catch up with what you guys are saying as well. So, lost sorcery from Ulicio, land of ancient golden sorceries. Transforms into something inconspicuous. Far from formally developed, this magic was instead born from the mischief of a young girl who sought relief from the solitude of the woods at dusk. So yeah, presumably came from Princess Dusk herself. Why Londor has it is anybody's guess, but that pilgrim knew it, and she was totally stalking and going to murder Henri this time around. I'll go ahead and talk to Henri, I guess, as well. I haven't done that. So, here we go. Matteo Priato, welcome to the stream. You said, how do I share my full screen while streaming from the PlayStation 4? So, you can stream from the PlayStation 4 itself, and if you go through the PlayStation 4 settings, you can turn off like the chat option while you're broadcasting. But I'm currently using a capture card, so I have my capture card hooked up to the PlayStation 4. The HDMI cable goes into the capture card, so that's where like the TV footage is going, and then from the capture card it connects into the PC as well as my other monitor, so I can see what I'm doing from the PlayStation 4, and then I can record that footage onto my PC and stream from the PC as well. So that's how it's working on my end. Welcome to the stream as well. And so SG, welcome to the stream. You said hello. You think the dancer's the boss here? Maybe in the content she was, but for now, as Colt says, it is Sullivan. El Gusto says, so it is more satisfying that. So is it more satisfying that unkindled or burned to ash, failing against the soul of cinders, or they were burned to ash, actually touching the first flame? It's a bit weird. I don't really know how I feel about the unkindled quite yet. So part of me believes it could be from touching the flame and like failing to kindle it, and that's why we're flameless, unkindled ash. But there is also the possibility that we lost the soul of cinder before. It's pretty cool that way. So yeah, Phobo says this NPC was so frustrating to find. You can't think of how anyone would find it without a guide. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things I'm worried about with like trying to do all of the Elden Ring stuff as soon as it comes out, just because like there is some random shit like this in many of their games where like you wouldn't think you'd need to do certain things to unlock a quest line or a special line of dialogue. But yeah, that'll also be kind of exciting to figure out as it happens as well. Yeah. SG says that headgear is like Murgo's wet nurse reused assets. It is all thanks to inquisitiveness. Yeah, by Psycho smashing all willy-nilly. Londor Paleshade wants to know your location.
Oh, I thought it might be you. Good to see you. I never managed to find Horace. But my duty must be done, even alone, as an unkindled Lord Seeker. For the children I knew, bless their souls. We all have our reasons, don't we? Please, take this. Recompense for my foolish request. And also a token of protection. May the flames guide your way.
Ring of the Evil Eye? Oh, so we can get it straight from her. We don't have to kill her. So this was also in Dark Souls 2, but it really doesn't say much about it. Part of me was wondering if maybe somebody in Dark Souls 2 is equipped with this, and then we could have like presumed like they just called the person like the Evil Eye, but it just kind of doesn't really work out. It really is like a lore black hole, unfortunately. Oops.
Ah, you are brave indeed, to face your duty alone. I would do well to learn from you. May the flames guide your way.
Another gesture.
Ah, you are brave indeed. I've made...
Part of me just wants to fight her here as well. Where's the damn bonfire? Okay. So I think Yuria might actually be hostile towards us now because we killed the, what's it called? The thing. The pilgrim. Yeah. Nymphalis was listening passively until you heard Elden Ring. It's all a lie. The Elden lie. Eldegusta says, if Londor is in theory the legacy of the civilization of New Londo, and they seem influenced by Koth, what do we think their relation to the Abyss is? That's a really good question. So it seems like by embracing humanity, aka the darkness, they're trying to free themselves from the god and being bound to the flame and the tyranny of the flame, which kind of causes people to yearn for life and all that stuff, and causes disparity amongst other things. But maybe that's a bit easier to talk about when we get towards the Ring City and all that, or like some of the endings. Yeah, that is a very good question about like what Londor's relation to the Abyss is. But I think fundamentally it just kind of like ties back into Hollows and all that stuff.
I have not thanked you for your generous rescue. That dark spirit was one of Rosaria's fingers, vile bastard offspring who lurk in the darkness. My sworn enemies. Fearsome invaders, to say the least. I would not have made it alone. You have my deepest gratitude.
Blessed Mailbreaker and a silver cat ring. Cool stuff.
If you require help on your travels, I offer you my sign. Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
So, because we are safe scumming, we're gonna do some terrible, terrible things.
You've been clean hollowed, have you? Then I will show no mercy. This is not my time to die.
I don't think she'll say anything else, so I'll let her kill me. See if she has some cool death quote. Oops. That's totally not her killing me, but whatever.
Give me, Granddad.
Don't know my own strength sometimes. So we get the Sunless Talisman. So with that act of terrible evil out of the way, let's heal up, I guess. And then read those items. We'll get him again when we reload. Where's our kitty cat? Okay. So, speaking of Psycho smashing all things willy-nilly, we got Cirrus down for the count. El Gusto says... Okay, I read that one. Flashy says, they lost to the Soul of Cinder as they were too weak. That's why the opening cinematic shows the Soul of Cinder dragging a body away. Ooh, I don't remember that. I'll have to look at that again. Thank you for bringing that up. Colt says, Cirrus times to die after freeing her grandfather from madness. Well, yeah, for sure. Why is she healing? Well, she doesn't want to die. But, you know, leaves you super vulnerable to those backstabs. And this is a silver ring depicting a leaping feline, prevents damage from falling. In the Age of Gods, or possibly just following it, an old cat was said to speak a human tongue with the voice of an old woman and the form of a fanciful immortal. So this is most likely a reference to Shalkiar from Dark Souls 2. Or maybe even, what's her name in Dark Souls 1? Can't think of her name. The cat in 1. Rip my memory. So maybe Yuria. I don't think she'll be aggro yet, but she'll be like, you're a damn idiot. Why the hell did you do that? So go. Who is her grandfather? Cirrus's grandfather is the man we can talk to at the Mound Makers at the very beginning of the game. I don't remember his name. Yeah, it's what Colt says, the dude at the bottom of the cursed rotted tree. Forgive her, Grandpappy. I thought... Okay, yeah, it is Hodrick. Okay. For some reason, I always confuse Hodrick and Horus. So, Alvina. Okay, that's the one. That's the cat from Dark Souls 1. Thank you, Phobos. Meant to hit X again, but I failed. I pressed it too soon. I'm too far away. Okay.
Thus forsworn the Lord's mark. There is not more to say. Farewell, our fleeting Lord. Thus forsworn the Lord's mark. There is not more to say. Farewell, our fleeting Lord. Thus forsworn the Lord's mark. There is not more to say. Farewell, our fleeting Lord.
Rip. I missed.
Where are thy wits?
Bill knows not of thy folly.
I parried her from behind me.
Mad. No one so weak shall ever rule us.
Garth, I have failed thee.
So now I'll talk to Arena, give her the 2 tomes, and then I'll try to buy all of her sorceries, or miracles rather. And then that'll like trigger the Aegon stuff, hopefully.
Oh, Champty.
Oh, I should have talked to. I guess I'll like do the Orbeck stuff later. Give her the Divine Tome.
Oh, what's this, Champy?
I already got this footage. Learn this crap. That was really it. I guess that's still pretty expensive.
You know, in my home of Karim, I was a nun. I was terribly sorry. You know, but if I had it, terrible.
Okay.
Have a pleasant day, I pray for you.
So we'll go get Hawkwood Shield, or no? We could do that on the true playthrough. So I think this is it. Maybe we could talk to Gray right now, but that's not important. Was there anything else? I don't think so. Teleport back to the shrine. Then she'll probably be gone. Okay. Sorry for the atrocities time. LP is a waifu killer now. Am I gonna wife up Henry in this playthrough? Yes. I mean, I'll save Scum like right before doing this. I'll save it to the USB so I can go back to the save if I need to. Why do I keep going that way? So presumably she's gone now, especially now that we bought all of the miracles. Maybe she just freaks out.
Oh, sweet champion, where have you been? Please, your touch. The little creatures, how they nip and bite.
So this will tie into the stuff with like the Pontiff Knight Greatsword or whatever it was called, or Curved Sword. Just that like it was a worm-ridden or worm-bitten, something like that.
You know, in my home of Karim.
So we can't touch her because we bought all of the Dark Miracles, I think.
Sorry, but you'll have to find me a divine tome in Braille.
So we learned all of those. So we need to get Aegon's stuff.
In my home of Karim, I would be pleased.
Once we get his gauntlets, we can actually touch her again to like wake her up, I think. Maybe not. I don't remember.
Oh, play a little. Oh.
Maybe we need to reload the area again for him to abduct her. Because he does do it. Maybe he's outside already. The terrible things we do in the name of footage. Okay, so definitely not yet. So Eldegusto says, so she is all for hollows, but then she poo-poos acting like a true hollow and attacking her for her soul. Psst. Dynamic Flashes says, you think you just need to buy one Dark Miracle for him to aggro. Yes, you're right. But if you buy all of them, she doesn't recognize your touch. Which is why I was trying to do it like that. Did I just... Okay, no. Okay, sweet. So now she's gone. So what else did we get? We got the Mail Breaker from Cirrus. And we also got those gauntlets. So, the Mail Breaker is just a normal Mail Breaker, essentially. It's just got, like, the Blessed Infusion on it. So this is a small sword made for thrusting attacks. This hard, edgeless sword can pierce through tough armor and boasts a deadly critical attack. Not a lot to work with there, I suppose. So... I think now Egon will be like right there. And I guess there's a dev note. Was that always there? And I just... tells me how to open the menu. Okay. Do I have my binoculars on? Okay. Taking a little second in case I ever wanted to monologue here for whatever reason.
I made myself very clear. My allegiance remained only as long as you assured the girl's safety. This Knight of Kareem does not forgive betrayal. Even a broken woman deserves her dignity.
Oh, he doesn't have any Estus this time. That's interesting.
Marina. This bastard.
It's cool that that stuff wasn't subtitled. We get his hammer, his shield. When do we get his gauntlet? I don't remember.
Who is there? Is someone there? Anyone?
I'm too far away.
Oh, sweet champion. Where have you been? Please, your touch. The little creatures, how they nip and bite.
I thought maybe it's later on that we need... Oh, okay. Thought it was like maybe after you buy all of them from her, then she's like, she asks Egon to kill her. Something like that. So I might have screwed it up. I don't know how you like do it properly then. Okay. I wonder if she's already here if we need to reload again. Might just be after this part now.
Oh, someone, please touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me.
So Vagamensch, welcome back to the stream. You said hi, just dropping by to say hi. Hope all is well. Thank you. Thanks for, and hope the same is true for you as well. Have a good day. So Saturn says thanks to Darksword. Good to see you too. And SG says why all NPCs want you to touch them. So with Irina being blind, she's presumably cut off like contact from other people, and one of the natural like driving forces of humanity and darkness in this game, or like life in general, is to seek out other life. So there is that kind of connection that she needs to be extended to other people as well. So SG says this is turning into a very touchy-feeling affair. Well, it certainly is intimate, just killing people for no good reason.
Oh, someone, please touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me. Oh, is there no one near to touch me? Keep those things from eating away at me.
So I think maybe we can go to the Shrine Handmaiden to buy Morn stuff. That might make sense. Not Morn, but Egon. Well, it's the Morn set, whatever. Let's go this way. And so yeah, since we did buy all of the Dark Miracles, she does not recognize contact anymore.
Ow.
That's Urio's stuff. It's his stuff. Executioner. Black Iron? Is this his? No, that's Sorig. Oh, so we get that set from him. Ooh, I definitely want that stuff. Okay, Morn. So, Morn's gauntlets, or black gauntlets bestowed upon Knights of Kareem, modeled on Morn, the Archbishop's apostle, cast from a unique mineral resembling stone. A Kareem Knight will dedicate an entire career to attending a single maiden, just as Morn once served one goddess alone. I have just enough souls for that.
Ashen one.
Ashen one,
Oh, someone, please touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me. Oh, you again. Touch me one last time. And kill me, as you promised you would.
so that's a pretty touching moment. Ha ha ha, yeah, that pun was intended, but okay.
Oh, stop the little please.
Okay, so I guess we can redo that as much as we need. So Colt asks, why does our touch ward off the biting insects? So that's a very good question, and as I was just telling SG, I think part of it just goes into the idea that life is attracted to life in these games, and so with her being blinded, she's essentially cut off from the outside world. As she continues to learn more of the deep and the dark, she begins to become more consumed by them, her soul at least, potentially. And that does tie into a description that I wanted to bring up. So we're going to go look back again at the Firekeeper set. So the Firekeepers were robbed of light to better serve as vessels for souls. Only those who cherished the writhing, searing darkness were given the Keeper's black attire. There's a small difference in the Japanese on this, and I honestly do not blame like the localizers for the way that they treated it, because like it's such a difficult thing to try to translate and make it sound natural. But what was the word? So instead of searing, I think the word was like a hasami uchi, which I didn't know until like I looked it up, but it's like the character of like a bug eating, and so the idea about behind like the darkness itself is that the darkness is gnawing and writhing on its own. So the darkness itself seems to be like a bug or an insect or like potentially one of those creatures that Irina thinks is nibbling at her. And so the fact that she's really scared of that nibbling and doesn't cherish or embrace that kind of darkness sets her up as a kind of failed firekeeper, I think. And it is interesting then that by only giving her like the normal type of miracles that she can become a firekeeper, because she is afraid of the dark and she doesn't embrace it. But yeah, kind of a crazy stuff really. So El Gusto says, was the Archbishop Havel biting humanity? Yeah, I don't know about that. Flashy says, are the little creatures humanity like with the firekeepers from Dark Souls? I think so. And so part of me also wonders if humanity itself has started to stagnate with the deep, and that might tie into some of the spells that we got from her. So I guess we didn't get Gnaw yet, but we'll see that shortly. Oh, I guess we did. Okay. So summon insect swarm to feast on foes. These insects, which lurk in the deep, have tiny jaws lined with fangs to tear open the skin and burrow into the flesh in the blink of an eye, causing intense bleeding. But even still, if you remember in Dark Souls 1, when we talk to the Fair Lady and do all of her quests, it talks about how each egg that she lays is like a tiny cradle of humanity. So there are a lot of parallels between humanity and bugs in general within the Dark Souls games, even before Dark Souls 3. So yeah, Flashy says she did become a firekeeper in one of your playthroughs, and that's what we'll do later on. I'm just kind of like doing this stuff to get the footage and to show it off. So I'm going to kill her now, and then we should get those dark, deep tomes back, I think.
Oh, a knight of Carim is always true to his word.
And we get Irina's ashes. Tower key. Oh, and I guess we didn't get the books back, but okay. Was there something else I wanted to do before messing with her? I can't remember now. I remember there's the Hawkwood stuff, the Seer stuff. Oh yeah, I guess just fight the NPCs and let them kill me for the most part to see if they have anything cool to say. So here I go, dying again. We get to be called a crusty ash bastard. Or no, let's kill Patches first, because last time he snuck up on us for messing with people. I'm not gonna worry about him killing me, because we screwed up the first time. I should already have that death quote, kill quote, whatever you want to call it.
Godspit, I knew something was wrong. Well, now it's my turn. Close call. Blimey.
Stun locked. That was kind of funny, but okay. SG says, so this insect thingy reminds you of centipedes of Sekiro? Does that mean some kind of corruption? So generally in these games, there is that kind of symbolism between bugs and stagnation and impurities. And so, as you mentioned, like there are the centipedes in Sekiro, which keep people alive. They kind of keep people in a state of stagnation, unable to die or change. So I don't think you're wrong for bringing that up. And whether or not like humanity is supposed to be related to that is one of those things that it's a little bit hard to answer at times.
Why me?
Oops, whatever. That's all that. And so yeah, like going back to like the whole centipede thing, so one of their things is that they like kind of feed on impurity. They're also kind of known as cannibals. So killing people and like absorbing their souls or their humanity can also be seen as impure to an extent. But that impurity and evilness is kind of inherent within man, which is kind of like one of the interesting dichotomies of the game, where you have like the white souls. I mean, they're not really white souls, but they're not dark souls. And then you do have the dark souls, so...
You're headed for the brink, aren't you?
Why do you want to drag me down? En garde, you crusty ash bastard!
Go. Not gonna kill him. Just wanted to parry him. Maybe you can kick and like... Oh, can't break my guard. Oh, there we go.
Ah, cold piss. Why did it come to this?
That was cool. So, Effervescent Soliloquy, welcome back to the stream. You said, you only get the books back if you give them to Rena and complete her questline by buying all the other spells, but not the dark ones. Okay. So, I was like confusing the two in my head. So, thank you for the clarification there. I appreciate that. Phobo says, if bugs eat humanity and the humanity is dark, it makes sense that the Witch of Izalith tried to turn into a bug, you guess? Bugs produce flame in that way? Kind of. What do I want to say about, like, the Witch of Izalith? She's described as, like, the seedbed of chaos, or I guess the bed of chaos in English. And so that term comes from seedbed, or Naidoko in Japanese, and so it's more like a nursery for chaos, which, I mean, it's pretty, like, straightforward just from the English alone. Oh, he's got, like, no health.
Oh, I've gone and run my course, haven't I?
Just got these random-ass knives sticking out of me. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't want this knife in me as I let the other NPCs kill me, so I'm just gonna respawn and talk about those points that we brought up. Cold Piss is bestest pissed. Ah, indeed, Cold Piss. He's so weak, it's almost cute, Grey Rat. Aldegusta says, if you become the Dark Lord, you wonder what the hell the Hollows are going to do with an age besides turn into trees and crying. So that'll hopefully get revealed a bit more as we look at the Profaned Flame and all that. We could actually just talk to who's it's right now, maybe get some of that information. From the spells, maybe not.
Ah, there you are, Unkindled One. I am pleased to have a pupil as dedicated as you.
We'll give him the Kolana Pyromancy Tome, or I don't think you can do anything with that one, so it's the Grave Warden one.
I'm afraid I cannot accept this. This Pyromancy Tome is dark and delves into the depths of men where an untouchable flame resides. I cannot comprehend this myself, let alone teach it to you. It is a spell forbidden in the Great Swamp, and nearly everywhere else too.
Right.
Ah, what have we here? By the gods, this inscription reads, Quelana, the ancient deity, one of the witches of Izalith. The last of them who wandered the lands. Then she must have returned to Izalith after all. But I regret to say, I cannot accept this. Quelana's pyromancies are for witches and must be learned from a mistress. But thank you for allowing me to peer upon such a thing. If only I were a woman. Huh. Oh, we'll need a pyromancy tome to learn more.
I'll give him the other stuff just to show it off.
Ah, what have we here? Then now heed my words, Unkindled One. Fear the fire. The home of pyromancy, Izalith, was scorched by the very fire it created. Undoubtedly, it was a flame of chaos, tangled by a witch's hand. But who's to say that this bonfire's flame is any different.
So Phobos asks like a cradle. So this idea of the like seedbed comes up in a few contexts. It comes up in the Blue Cleric set. It comes up in the Milkweed rune in Bloodborne, and obviously like the Bed of Chaos, and it also come up in the Chaos Bed Vestiges, which I don't think we get in any of these. So we'll need to talk to Carla to get some more information about that. Maybe this one will help. So the Witch of Izalith and her daughters birthed the flame of chaos, but it devoured them along with their home. So, okay, yeah. We really do need the other spells.
What is it?
So, seedbed really means, like, it's kind of like a gardening term, so where you plant, like, a small bed of flowers, like, in an enclosed space, so that way they're free from having to fight with the elements, as well as, like, bugs or vermin. So the idea that she became a seedbed of chaos would mean like she became like the cradle of life for chaos. So calling it a cradle is a perfectly apt comparison. There's just like the slight difference. And I think keeping the idea of like the seedbed preserved is important, because when we look at the imagery of the hollows turning into trees, or like the colas that we can give to Andre being called like Tanebi, or like, you know, seed fires, essentially, like pilot lights, that there is like a lot of repetition between the imagery of like trees and fire and life in general. So yeah, why she became like the bug looking like thing, I'm not entirely sure. That's kind of a mystery. We could just chalk it up to the chaos. But even when we do fight the Bed of Chaos, it is at like the root of a great tree, and like you first have to break open the tree to go and face it. So it is a bit mysterious to like try to like piece all of it together, I guess, especially like how that ties into eggs and humanity in general. But what we do know, at least in Dark Souls 1, that the Chaos Flame is related to humanity, and part of me thinks it is still related to the Profane Flame in this game, which is related to the Abyss, which is what we've talked about a bit. So Nymphalis says, you like how ineloquent Grey Rat is? You really get the sense that he's just a petty thief. And so yeah, with El Gusto going back to, like, if you became the Dark Lord, you wonder what the hell the Hollows are going to do with an age besides turn into trees and crying. It's the Profane Flame, I think, or maybe it's one of the Dark Flames that talks about... It doesn't... let me look at my spreadsheet, because I don't remember which one it is, and I really want to. Okay, so it's the Black Flame spell. So it's from Volnir. Okay. So the English for it is Black Flames born from the abyss bear no shadow. They are said to be the impenetrable fires of humanity. And so there's a little bit of the Japanese that didn't get through on this final paragraph. And so what I have for it is like, the flames produced by the abyss don't produce shadows, and they're also said to not distinguish anything. It's said to be the fires of humanity. So, the idea that they don't distinguish anything, like those flames don't, so it's the black flames, more specifically not the profaned one, would seem to me that it implies that they can't produce disparity. So perhaps like the Age of Hollows is free of disparity, and it might be a kind of pseudo return to the Age of Ancients, and maybe the flame can still come back to life again later on. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. Or maybe it can't, since like we become the avatar of the flame, or like we usurp its power. It's kind of tough to think about. A bridge over fluoridated water. Welcome back to the stream. You said, hello people. You hope everybody's feeling good and doing great. You're on the job today. In short, enjoy the stream in my stead. Much love. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah. El Degusta says, you guess humanity would mutate and have a big old night parade. Okay. So we're going to have him kill us this time.
Why? What's the matter?
Hopefully this won't kill him. Hopefully I can actually, like, hit him.
Fine, fine. I see how it is. When a pupil strays from the path, the master must intrude. Spare the rod and spoil the child.
That's cool. Oh, that death was different. Like we just exploded into flames. Or like ashes, didn't we? Thank you, Bridge. It's nice to see you. Hope you have a good day at work.
I can't complain. Oh, this old reverie had to end.
So that's that. I don't remember if he actually says anything if we give him a tome.
And I don't know. I don't mean to seem anything. Oh my, it's not what. I don't mean anything.
Alright, so this dude's just an asshole every time. Okay.
Come again. What is this about? It seems too late. And there's only one thing to do. With regret, I will end this here and now.
Wonder if anything happens if he finishes me with a spell.
God, what have I done?
I guess that's just kind of a normal death, so I think I was just tripping out earlier. Okay. Aldous says, "Nah, he was through the fire at my corpse while I faded." Okay. Groot gets a living. He sounds like he is from the Flintstones. It's interesting that Orbeck says, "What have I done?" Especially since he's supposed to have been an assassin. I guess Orbeck had more stuff. Or why did they call him Orbeck? I meant Cornix.
But why? Is that all I'm worth?
Okay, so that's pretty much all the terrible stuff I wanted to do now. Maybe we could do the Rosaria stuff. It doesn't matter, we already did the Seer stuff. Okay, so I'll unload, I'll reload, and then I'll save this to the USB as well. Download the old save. Don't know why this is taking a minute. And thank you for linking the spreadsheet, Saturn. That took forever. That's weird. Okay, so we have it saved right before we ever dealt with what's her face, Henri at the little chapel thing. So it's always handy to have. Part of me wishes they made it really easier to just like have different save files per game, but They wanted to be obtuse for a reason. It's a little bit tedious, but I don't really hold it too much against them. Like, I understand why they did it. It's just like, it can be worked around anyway. It's a little bit damned if you do, damned if you don't. Definitely damned if you don't, if you just wanted to save right before the ending. Eldegusta says you want the chosen undead in Smash. It'd be interesting to see, like, if you know, they ever did that, like, how they would try to handle it. Maybe they'd play it more like a Byleth or Robin? Like a combo of the two, where you get, like, the different types of weapons or different types of spells. So, some more of the load in again. We can talk to Henri again. And then this time she'll die.
Oh, I thought it might be you. Good to see you. I never managed to find Horace. But my duty must be done, even alone, as an unkindled Lord Seeker. For the children I knew, bless their souls. We all have our reasons, don't we? Please, take this. Recompense for my foolish request. And also a token of protection. May the flames guide your way. I've made...
So we got the Ring of the Evil Eye again. We've looked at it before. I'm not too worried about it right now. And so we got the Proof of the Concord Kept. So we did not check that one out. So now that we've finally done all of the crazy stuff, let's go ahead and look at those Pontiff Knight gauntlets, then the Proof of a Concord Kept. So these are gauntlets of the Pontiff's Knights, now heralded spirits of Irithyll. This blue-gray gauntlets, interesting, shrouded in a thinly cold air, is light and brittle. So it's interesting that it says this instead of like these blue-gray gauntlets, but whatever. Have pretty low fire resistance, so maybe that's a bit of a hint as to what's going to come ahead later. And then what else? Oh yeah, the Proof of the Concord Kept. Is it not a key item? Okay, so it's probably just a regular one. So, blood-drained shrunken ear. Souvenir taken for subduing the guilty. The knights call the Blades of the Dark Moon and punish the guilt-soaked offenders of the gods, and take this as proof of their conquest. The earless corpses of the guilty will be left behind as a warning to others, inspiring both fear and respect for the gods. Such is the eternal mandate of the Dark Sun. So this just kind of ties into the whole Way of Blue, Dark Moon style covenant of Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 1, they were just like ears. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but yeah. You'd use those to level up with the Dark Moons. We already talked to the Pilgrim. I don't think you could even get like a dialogue to pop up. Oh, because it is this like little statue thing here. So yeah. Might hit it again, might not, I don't know. Maybe I should just talk to Yuri. Okay, yeah. I'm going to kill Henri here for the hell of it, then talk to Yuria. Or no. We'll go kill Orbeck, talk to Yuria, then come kill Henri, then talk to Yuria, and then reload once again. Visceral attack on Pikachu. You'd always get a +1 stock. Fova says, seeing that ear again brings back the PTSD from having to farm it for the Covenant. Are you talking about farming it in Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 1? The Dark Souls 1 one was kind of annoying, but not too terrible. Okay, we checked out those. Okay, I'll talk to her. She'll tell me to kill Orbeck. I'll do it, and then I'll come see her again. May as well have it all like close together. I don't think I have the dialogue up.
Speak thy desire, honorable Lord of Hollows. Our lord and liege. Knowest thou of a maid named Henri? She is hollow, and will join thee in wedlock. A fellow of mine guides her at this moment. When the time is ripe, thou mayst make thy salutations. For what lord taketh no spouse? Our lord and liege. Knowest thou of a mage of the
Maybe I should have killed Orbeck sooner? Maybe not. I don't know. So, so Effervescent says you hate having to farm for those Concord Covenant items because you never get summoned as a blue. Yeah, so the only thing that I'm missing for platinuming Dark Souls 3 is just like all of the Covenant items. I don't even remember which ones I've done at this point. But yeah, it just got a little bit grindy because the online stuff can be annoying and just take forever to actually get summoned in, and then like actually trying to grind each item, just like the drop rates are so ridiculously low. Even with a luck build, it's just not really worth it. So hopefully in their future games that I will not name right now, they'll get a bit better about that kind of grind. Soliloquy says, it would have been real nice of From if they wouldn't let people invade for Concords like you can for Sunlight Metals. Or if they would have, okay. Phobo says in both games, but in 3 it takes forever to be summoned as a Dark Moon, at least nowadays. Okay. SG says it was the Queen of the Vilebloods voice actor.
It seems too late. Then there's only one thing to do. With regret, I will end this here and now.
Did he say something different this time?
But why? Is that all I'm worth?
I forget just how hard I hit, and I should just YOLO the shit out of these dudes.
Speak thy desire, honorable Lord of Hollows. Ah, I see Orbeck's claim is proven false. As it should be our right and deserving Lord of Hollows. It is a Londor treasure befitting of a true Lord. Lord of Hollows, may the dark sigil guide thy way.
So we get the Morion Blade, which is super cool, honestly.
Our Lord and no she
okay.
Till me.
This sword is so damn cool, for real. This is a twisted sword resembling the towers of Londor's Sable Church. 8 branching blades and thorns induce bleeding. The church's blessing makes the weapon revel in the agony of its owner. Heavy losses of HP boost attack, a curse most befitting its deformed appearance. It's actually kind of smaller than I thought, just used to the great swords. But yeah, one of my favorite Nintendo games as a child was called Demon Sword, and it's got like the 7 branch swords as well, or like branching blades, which is kind of similar to like what the Divine Dragon wields in what's it called? Sekiro. So yeah. Where were we? We're gonna go kill Henri and then we'll restore it once again. So that was all that we needed to do for the Orbeck stuff. And so this is the Church of Yorshka. And Yorshka, we don't know who she is yet, but she'll come up again later. So I guess there is like a little bit of foreshadowing that there is a little bit more to this church than what you get on like the initial entrance to it. So when we reload again, I want to talk to Patches to buy the onion set. So Henri might be gone now. Okay, she is. That doesn't surprise me. So maybe the pilgrim is gone now? Okay, so it's still here.
Oh, but
us lock up. But why?
Okay, so do I just need to reload now? Yeah, I think so. But that's no fun. Let's just go YOLO the boss real quick before I reload. I think you can just run straight up to it and do it right now. If I die, I die. If not, I just load back in. Oh wait, no, we can't go straight, can we? Yeah, I forgot that there's actually like the whole staircase here. Figures. Okay, so there's... That doesn't matter though. Alright. I thought I could just get to him super quickly. Yeah, so I guess it is a little bit annoying that they really make you go through the rest of Irithyll, but whatever. I think there might be a skip, like a faster way to do it, I just don't remember if there is. So Nymphaly says, future games that you will not name. Bobo says, yeah, you have to collect all of the rings from the Covenants on a single character. It's a big oversight. You haven't platinumed for the same reason. Have I ever played Okami? No, I have not. I've heard really good things. It was on my to play list. It's a really long to play list, and sometimes things just kind of fall off the radar, unfortunately. But yeah, I do kind of want to play it sometime. I'm just afraid at this point, maybe it might be a little bit dated. Hopefully I'm wrong about that, though. So Blue Mew says, it's a 7-pronged sword you always see appear in Japanese folklore. It's used to seal or slay demons. It's been in Tenchu, Sekiro, like I said, and Nioh 2. Yeah, and there's even a real version of that. It was like a gift from Korea to Japan, like way ancient times. Yeah, and a number of anime, so it is pretty famous. Alright, so I think that was all. Oh, just go talk to Patches, get the onion stuff, and then... Yeah, okay.
Oh, I thought it might be up for the bill, please.
And then maybe the Rosaria stuff as well, since we're going to be in that direction. So this is like a hint that we can get up there later, because I think there's like an item that we can see, but we can't get to quite yet. Thought there was something like that up there. I might be misremembering, whatever. Okay. Go to Firelink, talk to Patches. And so from Sirius, we do see that she is kind of set against the fingers, which is why we couldn't do the Rosaria stuff beforehand, because that would just kind of flag us as her enemy or someone whom she would not trust. So, speaking of untrustworthy people, we get the Patches squat. Didn't know that.
Hello again. Welcome to Patches' Boutique of Wonders. Can't resist it, can you? My sumptuous selection. Ah, I see you've met Greyrat. The slinking rodent. But he did me a good turn back in Lothric Dungeon. Doubtless I should do something about that little debt. Well, maybe not. Well, I can hardly believe he's still standing.
So I guess this is like the deep lore that Patches must be a Slav since he does the Slav squat. Just get him some Adidas gear to complete the image. I think that's it. And we could probably talk to Grey right now.
Thanks.
Or I'll do that maybe after we rescue. I guess Patches or Sigurd can still rescue him, so not the biggest deal. Then I might just buy some of the things. No, he'll come back. Yeah, okay, I won't worry about that.
Oh, hello. Fine work, I say. Discovering Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, all in a day's work. If the tales are true, it is home to old moon-worshipping nobles, and should be packed with treasure. What do you think? Shall I go and see what I can find? A fine choice. I am Grey Rat the Thief. What I bring back will be worthy of that name. I am Grey Rat the Thief. What I bring back will be worthy of that name.
So, yeah, if you don't do the Patches stuff or the Sigurd stuff beforehand, he will die.
Goodbye.
If you send him on this
I will
message,
leave for some
or
time.
mission rather. And you'll find him like in the kind of sewery type areas next to like the spider-esque monsters. I forget what they're called.
Just what? Oh, by the by, if they would
Okay.
come,
So I think our weapon was fully forged up. Okay, so yeah, we need more chunks still.
Pretty be careful, don't that.
But we might still be able to level up once, maybe not twice though.
Welcome, host. Very well, then take no.
Oh yeah, okay, just once. Go back up to 1,000 health, since that's what we did last time.
Farewell, mate.
So let's go do the Leonhard stuff with the Sigurd stuff. Go back to Rosaria's bedchamber. Kerm the Derm. Wow. Welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you again. Yo, yo. So yeah, Kerm, we just went through the very beginning of Irithyll. We did some more NPC save scum stuff, and then just talked to Henri to waifu her up. And so now we just got all of the Katarina set from Patches, and we're going to return it to who's its Sigurd. I don't remember if I actually read one of these damn tongues. I feel like I keep forgetting every single time that I mean to do it. Hopefully if I read the description it'll jog my memory. But maybe not. So, proof of a Red Orb invader's victory over a host of embers. Claiming tongues as trophies was originally the practice of an infamous troop of invaders who offered them to their speechless goddess. Did I have a bone shard? Oh, no, that's just the shackle. Okay. I already screwed up Hazel, so that's whatever, but yeah. So we can reallocate our attributes here, and it's paid in pale tongues, so we can do it 5 more times during our lifetime. So we're not going to be reborn because my build's baller, I guess. And then we can also use it to change our appearance. So that kind of ties into why Leonhard might have originally tried to come over here because he wanted to be reborn, but for whatever reason it just didn't work out. Now I don't remember what else to do with his quest right here. I might need to look that up. Oh yeah, so I shouldn't kill the casters because I want to see what they do. What, like, their staff looks like. So these guys can puke maggots on us, which is cool. So yeah, if we look closely at their like little staff there, we can see that there's like a figure of a person on the top of it. And it does have like the kind of covenant symbol of the fingers at the top of it. Kind of hard to see, but I mean, that is what it is. I think you can also get this later. Where's our torch? That roll for now. Oh, got him angry. Okay. So, Otako Fedito, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I mispronounced that. You said, you saw those slugs and said, nah, fuck this shit. And so, no, I won't mess with Rosaria just because, I don't know. I don't really think there's much I need. Like, I don't feel like I need the footage for that. But, if this was Dark Souls 1, I would definitely mess with, Guinevere. I need to go this way? Why am I tripping out? Okay, yeah, no. Just a little bit absent-minded there. Oh, the fat rolls, I forgot. I forgot the thing that I did like 30 seconds ago. Oh, he lived? May as well heal up. So now the secret stuff. Venom says, don't accept Rosaria's services if I want to do Sierra's side quest. Isn't it, you just need to do, like, the summon part? Like, I thought you're fine after you do that part. Because I already did the summon in Irithyll.
I'm in quite a pickle indeed. Maybe I can fashion a replacement from, I've got to use my head and think. Oh, my armor. deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Katarina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade. No need to worry about me. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, my good friend.
So I need to do all of Sirius's stuff first. That's annoying. Okay. Will that mess with Leonhard's stuff, or can I do all of that stuff first? Because I guess I'll just reload it again. But, yeah, I appreciate, like, you guys looking out. Okay. Yeah, so if multiple people are like, no, don't do that, okay, yeah, I'll definitely listen. So now I just talk to Patches, then, who's it? Siegfried. Okay, okay. I don't need to finish Leonhardt's quest, I can even get services from her corpse. Okay. Talk to her, talk to Yuria.
I've made.
Okay, with that. Because I think, if I remember correctly, you can do pretty much all of the endings as long as you do the Henri stuff first, and you can just kind of choose at that point. So it's kind of important to save her, well, kill her, whatever. And then deal with all that stuff at the end of the game.
Oh, hello again. Welcome to Patch's Boutique of Wonders. Can't resist it, can you? My sumptuous selection.
Kind of reminds me of a frog like that.
Thanks, good cop.
Welcome. Very then hey. Farewell, Ashen One.
Now I'm like, where do I want to go? Cleansing Chapel. Okay, here we go.
Quite a pickle indeed. Maybe I can fashion a replacement from I've got to use my head and think. Oh, my armor. My deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Katarina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade.
Rejoice.
No need to worry about me. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, my good friend. No need.
Okay. So that's that. I think that's everything for here, and then we're gonna go back to Irithyll and then do all of that crap over there. I think maybe I need to go back to the little balcony and there's like the drop-off part to get the special spell. I don't remember. I might explore it and then just die a little bit. It's been a while since I played this. So that's kind of like the way to progress, but I do just want to double check. So those two knights should spawn over here. Probably already a little bit ahead. That was kind of like the dancer's dance now that I think about it. Oh. Ooh, and we got the crown. Let's see what that's all about. The crown of the Pontiff's Knights now herald spirits of Irithyll. The golden crown signifies those who report directly to Sullivan. The knights wear his watchful eyes, and when needed, his punitive blades. So it's a little bit too heavy for us, but fun piece right there. I thought there was something like right around here. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's from the other direction. No biggie. Okay. Didn't think there was anything over there, just wanted to be sure. Henry is gone. Exactly what I expected. So we get the roster of knights. I think it's more like an online item than anything. Roster of Knights of the Dark Moon who have served since the age of the Old Royals. Used to discover the names of Dark Moon Knights, an order of elite knights shrouded in shadows. So I think like there's like a bunch of hackers that kind of just abused the system to make it seem like they've given like tens of thousands of tongues or ears or whatever. So that's that way. I don't think I'm going to go quite that way just yet. We get some more of like the dark-headed dudes. I don't know what the deal is going on with their faces. Maybe they've been given the eyes of Sullivan and then it's like casting dark on top of them? I'm not sure. Get the Fading Soul. That guy will try to come up out of the darkness so we can see their eyes kind of glowing. And then this is an area we can go to a little bit later on. I think this is like a straight up death fall if you try to go from here. Pretty confident about that. Soul. Oh, I mean Embered. So we actually get Crichton, the dude who we killed with Cirrus. Oops. Did that a little bit too soon, and then we got the, Oh, wow. He did a lot of damage. That's cool, because I would have forgotten about him. So, Nymphales asks, do we have a Discord server? Yes, we do, and Saturn linked it, so thank you very much, Saturn. I appreciate that. And Jacob McNamara, welcome to the stream. You said if you hit that railing up those stairs, it is an illusion? Okay, so I was remembering right, or correctly. Let's go deal with Crichton, and then we'll go back to those stairs. And then I might need to take a break to handle my furry friend. She might need to take a bio break. So grab my souls, kill the other one that was just chilling over there because he was bothering me with his red eyes. So these guys kind of remind me of the Corvians. At least that one most certainly does. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, because he's got like the fur all over him. Interesting. He's praying like at this grave. I thought there was something else to it. Okay, something behind it. The undead bone shard. Brilliant. Okay, let's go ahead and ember up. Undo the binoculars because I always forget. I wonder if I could, they put the tree there for a reason. That should have parried. Whatever. I think that stops Estus recovery, so that's baller on him. Oh, he keeps turning during that? I thought I was trying to go for the easy backstab. Rip. Okay. That's not exactly how I wanted to do it, but we'll take it. So we got the Dragon Slayer's Axe. So I wonder if that's automatically imbued with Bolt. Okay, I'll go ahead and read that now, and then I will let the dog do her business real quick. So that'll probably be like 3 minutes. Okay, So, Flashy says this is what he normally does to you. Okay. Venom says the Irithyll slaves seem to be fading out of reality, like those hollows in Dark Souls 2. You've seen it theorized it's because they've bled all their blood, which is why they lick bloodstones. Okay, interesting. Or maybe they just hollowed so much they're essentially disappearing. Okay, cool. Jacob says, lol, thanks for the warm welcome. And yeah, you were so close to the illusion. Okay, so yeah, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I like jumped off this before. So yeah, thank you for confirming my suspicions. I guess in these games, I really should just like hit the walls more often. I don't know. But yeah. Flashy says there's an item behind there, but you may not need it. Okay. Soliloquy says best faith weapon in the game, the Dragon Slayer axe. Okay, really? Interesting. So this is the axe favored by Crichton the Warrior, infamous deserter of the Knights of Mira. Called Dragon Slayer's axe for the lightning that pulsates within its blade, but Crichton used it to slay men, which he certainly got me with. And unfortunately, getting wrecked by that NPC doesn't give us an emote like with Sorig. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and let my furry friend outside, and so we'll probably be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. So hopefully you guys will hang tight, and then we'll get back to the game. See you in a bit. Alright, and we're back. So... Soliloquy says, put it on a raw infusion and use lightning blade out and you get like 800 attack rating. Holy crap. And so... You said you've been wrecking people using that on your level 100 faith build for the Spears of the Church Covenant. So the enemies should be back, right? I just killed them all and respawned. Yeah, so it's interesting that they are invisible to start off. Maybe the art book or something like that would explain it just a little bit more, just from having like the title of the enemies here. Oh yeah. So Mortice Volt says you just platinum Bloodborne. That's your first Soulsborne game you 100% completed. Congratulations. I'm assuming you just finished off with Queen Yarnum, right? Because that's the one that typically takes like the most time to do. I thought I heard a lizard. Maybe I was just... Okay. Keep forgetting that I'm one-shotting these guys. Ooh, and we got the knight armor. Wow, my luck, my 11 luck on this character is really freaking high, I guess. And I don't want you to aggro the mage. Because the drops that I've gotten on this character are kind of ridiculous for... and the leggings? Holy shit. I think that's the entire set already. And that's like pretty much one for all of them. Okay. Oh, because there's stairs. Okay, I probably should have seen the stairs and put two and two together. Or maybe the stairs didn't look like that a second ago. I do remember that guy is there. Not quite. Okay, whatever. Whiffed. I'm out of stamina. How did that miss? Okay, okay, whatever. So Mortis said you actually your last achievement was the sunrise. Okay, yeah, I've seen a few people do that one last as well. You said you made sure to do the Queen Yarnum as early as possible, and my help was invaluable. You know that, right? No, the stairs just appear out of nowhere. Okay. Oh, so I'm assuming you're thanking Kerm because you guys have been doing a bunch of the co-op stuff. So yeah, I'm really glad that you got your platinum and the people on the server were able to help you in that journey there. That's awesome. You helped with dungeons, that's it. You could have done it yourself for sure. I think it's just habit for me to follow up at this point. So it's cool you can see their kind of footsteps. I keep trying to kick and I mess up. Go. And another curved sword, because why not get more items from these things? let's not die. There's some bullcrap again. So let's check out the armor and the legs, although I think they're the same. Yeah, okay. Are they? Okay. We can hear some more of those screams. And so that's an evangelist, although I think that one's different. Maybe this is Doris, whatever. I think I could probably just cheese her, couldn't I? I don't remember if she's unique or not. This is so uncomfortable. And she's got some eyeballs. And a beard. I swear that's a beard. Doris is 9. And the Witch Tree branch. Sweet. So let's check out the spell and then the item. So let's go back to the chat. Jacob McNamara says, just out of curiosity, do I have any plans on doing a playthrough of Sekiro? I was thinking about it because there is some stuff that I would like to talk about it in relation to the lore videos. I don't necessarily know about streaming it, although, I mean, if there's demand for it, I might. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, I've already played through it, if you were asking that as well. Otako Fedito says, are you hyped for Elden Ring? You really hope that the lore is as deep as Dark Souls. I am also hyped for Elden Ring, but I'm also trying to keep my hype levels at a low, just so the wait is less painful, to be honest. So, yeah. I'm definitely excited to see a game if they have as much time and money as they need to get it in the state that they want it, most of all. Soliloquy says, Sekiro is the only FromSoft game that you're ashamed to say you never completed, gave up halfway because it was just too hard, and you've done Bloodborne's Cursed Chalices many times. It's different. Like, once you get the hang of Sekiro's combat style, it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, for me, I would say, like, once you're able to beat Genichiro, you're able to beat the entire game. It's just kind of refining off of that combat style. But man, Genichiro is probably the real, like, soul-crushing part of that game. So if you got past him, I would definitely say give it another try. It might click for you a bit better this time, but if you didn't get past him the first time, I would say go back anyway and then just try to get past him, because once you're able to do that, it really clicks. I guess a lot of people also crash on the monkey, but I feel like once you do get Genichiro, that's pretty much all you need for, like, the basics of the combat. And maybe I'm just kind of starting to sound like a broken record. So Mortis says you just need to beat Sekiro and then Demon Souls, then you beat all of the Soulsborne Kiro games. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Demon Souls, but they are on the list for sure. Merc says, Sekiro, in your opinion, is the least replayability because it is a straight-up action game, not an RPG. Being able to replay the bosses is amazing, though. Yeah, for me, I think Sekiro, I've said this before and I'll say it time and time again, that Sekiro is such a good game that it kind of suffers from its own success. It forces you to master its combat system to, like, actually get the endings. And so, because of that, there's less incentive to go back and do New Game Plus, because you've kind of already gotten the game figured out. So it is a good and a bad thing. But yeah, I only went through the one playthrough. I did the Journey of the West ending, and then I didn't really feel the need to continue. But hopefully, like with this much of a break in between the games, I can go back and look at it a bit more favorably. I mean, not that I thought it was a bad game, but I didn't think it was worth a Game of the Year that year, but it was definitely a good game. I just didn't think it was quite at that level. But yeah, definitely hoping Elden Ring will be able to take the good elements of all of the games that they've done so far and create something amazing. Now, Blue Mew says, it will have lore, but you doubt it'll be mysterious. It would just be straightforward like Sekiro. Yeah, I wonder about that as well. But I feel like with George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki working together, they probably would want to craft a very rich world, which will be fun to explore. Kerm says, go for the plat at minimum. You have to play it 4 times. It'll probably take you longer than that. It took you 7 runs to finally platinum. Grade 8 was your wall? Okay. Take everything you learned from the game and throw it out the window. Yeah, Soliloquy got to Genichiro. He is the wall. So yeah, I think the 2 big I guess like the 3 big walls are Lady Butterfly, Genichiro, and the Great Ape. Once you get through those guys, it's manageable. I mean, Ishin is also like a huge wall, but like at that point you're just like, you'll have the determination to finish the game that I think most people will try to like beat Ishin, although he's extremely difficult. So yeah. Okay. Otako Fudido says, no need to pronounce your name. It's Brazilian Portuguese for smelly weeb. Unfortunately, I just kind of read the names to give people like a better understanding of who's who, because at least for me, if I go back and look at some of these recordings, I like to just kind of listen to them on occasion, so it's easy for me to keep track of what's going on if I hear my own voice saying like who's talking to me and my replies to them. So sorry that your name is Smelly Weeb, I guess. Mortis says, Martin and Miyazaki working together is a match made in heaven for dark fantasy. If by dark fantasy you mean never a fantasy that would never see the light of day, I think you're right. So, alright, now with that terrible pun out of the way, this is Miracle of Doris, the Deranged Evangelist. Summons great insect swarm to feast on foes. Those who linger too long on the brink of the deep will often slip. Doris is sure to have wallowed in this darkness, intoxicated by its peril. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing, because like, I mean, presumably the evangelist that we just killed was Doris, so she has her own spell. He does? I don't know, it had a beard. Who am I to judge, I guess, but yeah. We jump down so we can't go back. Oof. This jerk would hit me through all of that. So we'll probably just like YOLO run past everything to go back to the thing. Or how many souls do I even have now? Enough to level up. So that'll take care of that. Alright, enough boys to persist through that. I'm just kind of looking back over everything. Oof. Alright, done dealing with that. So go back to Firelink, level up, and then go through the bottom section of Irithyll. It feels like I've been stuck in this area for so long, just because I keep screwing up. Herm the Derm says Sekiro has the most completion rate from all the FromSoft games, you believe? Interesting. Because I know there was that like minor controversy about the game being too difficult. But at first I had no idea what they were talking about, but then I thought about it, like a lot of people did end up summoning for the bosses in their old games, so maybe it kind of made sense. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Vitality just because I want to change my hat, mostly. What do I want? What do I want? Chief Mask is pretty decent. It has a little bit, a decent amount more frost and a little bit more poise. Assassin Hood is kind of nice though as well. Oh, if we are going into a poisonous area, if I remember correctly. Not terribly poisonous, but poisonous nonetheless. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is kind of what I wanted to wear anyway. Spiffy. Actually, I kind of don't like the hat. But whatever. It's good enough. Oh, yeah, and we need to talk to Grey right now.
Oh, if the table... I am Grey.
Okay, we already did all that. So let's go ahead and buy one of those embers. Oh, and we did get the Undead Bone Shard. I almost forgot about that. Okay. So Blue Muse says Martin has other works, but A Song of Ice and Fire is more his magnum opus, which isn't finished. If you know his other works, there is a difference. Okay, interesting. I don't know what you mean by that. I do know that, like, yeah, the Game of Thrones / A Song of Ice and Fire was his baby, the one that he's definitely been working on for an extremely long time. Even before, like, you know, the whole super wait for Winds of Winter. So... at least Sekiro has the pause of the jump button. Yeah, it took me an extremely long time to even notice that, actually, just because, like, I mean, if you played any of the other games, that wasn't a thing. So it kind of blew my mind when I accidentally discovered it. I think I was really far into the game, too. I don't remember when I discovered it, but yeah, I was like, what the hell? So Gabriel gave up on Lady Butterfly in Sekiro. Maybe you were underleveled. No, you're not necessarily underleveled. It's like that fight is kind of a wall, because at that point you don't necessarily like really understand how the combat works, and like trying to go through Ashina or the Hirata estate is a bit. Which way do I want to go first? I think this way. I think this way is a dead end. Or is this the dark area? This is the dark area. I don't remember which way goes where, so I'm going to go with the dogs first, the dogmen. So yeah, going through the Hirata estate, it kind of teaches you like the super basics of the combat, and then like Lady Butterfly herself just kind of like takes a shit all over that. Like she's so much tougher than the content in that area. So it is, I guess, did that one just fall through the map? And so this one has a ragdoll? That one has purple eyes? So that one has like bluish purplish eyes. Okay, that's cool. Try to get these a little bit. So yeah, Lady Butterfly is definitely tough to deal with on the first run through. So, switching trains of thought for just a moment. So these dog things are probably actual people, and so this might be related to Sullivan turning people into beasts. It's kind of got like transmogrified feet, but like the skulls are definitely more humanoid. And if we compare them to like the other like people that kind of appear out of mist, they're probably related, is what I would guess. We get the rusted gold coin. I don't think there's any other illusory walls around here, but now I'm just too paranoid to not check at this point. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty confident there wasn't. So, yeah, Lady Butterfly can be a bit difficult. I accidentally cheesed her when I killed her, just because I found out, and I mean, this might be a little bit spoilers, so I apologize if you haven't like played it or figured out the way to kill her yourself. But I kind of inadvertently discovered that like if you hit her once and then maybe it was hit her once or twice and then she would like try to counterattack you, but if you just like stepped to the left or something or like parried once, like it didn't work out. So you could just kind of kill her extremely easily that way. Kind of like the last Shadow of Yharnam if you've seen like the speedrunner strat. Something like that. I mean, not quite the same, but if I remember correctly, I think I might want to get embered up here as well. I don't remember dying. Oh yeah, because of that one thing. Let's change my equipment. Let's put the torch back on, and then I might need to switch the damn hat back. So yeah, coming down here, there's like a lot of the kind of dark spirits, which can be kind of really annoying to deal with. Because it's a dark gank fest. I don't remember if these barrels explode now that I think about it. Maybe I shouldn't hit them with my torch. And then I thought there was a way other than just like running and jumping to get over there from this direction. Maybe not. Okay, so maybe I do need to go over there a little bit. I'll catch up on chat before I do that. So Nymphalis asks if I'm interested in Monster Hunter at all. So generally, like Monster Hunter does look really cool. I'll give it that. But unfortunately, it just kind of doesn't appeal to me. Just because like the combat seems really grindy. And it doesn't seem to have like the kind of weight that I would enjoy in that kind of game. So I like the idea. It just, I mean, I guess it's probably a lot more fun to play directly. But it just looks so slow and tedious because I've seen people like go against like some of like the gigantic bosses and then they'll like crash for like 30 minutes on it and then they'll run out of the timer. And that just does not appeal to me whatsoever. But a lot of the fights do look really cool. And I think like if I were to write a book and had like giant monsters, I would pretty much try to describe it like the fights that would occur in Monster Hunter, but I mean like, you know, a bit more realistic maybe. But I think like the general principle of the game is super cool. I didn't catch up a ton, but okay, I remember now. Blue bug pellets. Okay, should have a second again. Grim the Derm says, Sekiro is the most get good of all the Souls games. Yeah, you're not really wrong about that. Gabriel says you're too anxious for those fast response type games. And then you end up pressing too early or too late. Yeah, a lot of people call like Sekiro a rhythm game. And I don't think that's really wrong to a large extent. Like if you can get like the flow of combat in Bloodborne, I think you could get Sekiro. Dark Souls is a little bit closer to it, but a little bit slower at the same time. Now, Blue Mew says, would it still be considered Souls if Miyazaki ended Dark Souls to get away from that label? At this point, I feel like if Miyazaki made a card game, people would call it a Souls title. Yeah. So, Dynamic Flashy says to Kerm that you're right. For that reason, you don't think it has as much of a replay value. The game was an absolute breeze on your second playthrough. And yeah, you can, like, kind of increase the difficulty with the Demon Bell or, like, the Kuro Charm, but yeah. Once you get the hang of it, you really get the hang of it, which is both good and bad. They just didn't have enough build variety or quests to really make New Game Plus feel worth it. Especially with, like, no PvP or anything like that to keep people interested. So Blue Mew says they may have a common formula and themes, even looking back to Kingsfield, but it was different enough, for sure. And then Merc says, Lady Butterfly is a wall for sure, but it's optional and the game tells you it might be good to get more attack power and come back. Okay. Otako says, you never actually beat the Demon of Hatred, you made him fall off the arena 3 times? Okay. Yeah, I remember the Demon of Hatred being kind of tough, but I don't know, that one didn't annoy me, so I probably died to him a lot, but it didn't feel like it to me. I don't know. But Demon of Hatred definitely doesn't feel like it belongs in Sekiro compared to a lot of the other bosses, which is why a lot of people are like, oh, it's a Bloodborne boss, but for whatever reason, I think he fit well enough for what they were trying to go for. I do wish there was probably a little bit more to, like, the Shura mythos in that game that kind of led up to the Demon of Hatred, though. I wish they kind of, fleshed that out a bit more. And so Kerm says, not for everyone, Gabriel, and to Flashy, you accidentally did the Ashura ending your first playthrough, so you missed so much, and you were severely missing power on your second run through. It was brutal. Okay, that's understandable. Professor Gomez, thank you, and he said, greetings and good luck with Pontiff Sullivan. It's nice to have you in the stream again, and welcome. Kerm says, Dark Souls 3 has the easiest bosses in the main story, in your opinion? I don't really know. I feel like it's hard for me to judge the difficulty of Dark Souls 3's bosses just because, like, at the point that we're playing now, like, we're kind of so familiar with the titles that no matter what they would have done, you might have felt like that to a certain extent. I think this one over here is a mage. Well, it's kind of nice having that ridiculously broad arc of a swing on this thing. We get some more Shriving Stones. I thought there was another one. Maybe not. Oof. This is mildly nerve-wracking. Or is he over there? I thought there was more treasure up here. Maybe I need to drop down? For the more treasure area? That might make sense. Oh, we know the drill. It's too dark to tell if that bitch is breathing, but no, it looks stationary. If I die, it'll all be for the footage and for the lulz. Okay, I thought I was about to get eaten, but it didn't seem like it would make much sense to have the mimic on the second story. They don't do that a ton, I don't think. So we got Yorshka's spear, I think. That's where we first came through, okay. Okay, so it's just shiny over here for no reason. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's the second. Okay. So I do want to go back up there. I'll probably die to gravity, knowing me. Nope, okay. Oh, Flashy, thank you for the £5. Very much. I appreciate that. Thank you again. And I'll try to catch back up with you guys once we get up this ladder and back to where we were. If I remember correctly, like, coming up here really doesn't matter. We'll see. Okay. Merc says, the DLC bosses are the hardest, but even some of them are too easy. Yeah, the DLC was a really good DLC. Like, both of them, honestly. I mean, I wasn't crazy about, like, the champion Grave Tender, but yeah. Nymphalie says, oh yeah, it's definitely grindy for a monster hunter, yeah. Flashy says, maybe not most difficult, but you find Dark Souls 3's bosses are generally fun to fight. Still, your favorite bosses from the series are still the ones in the Old Hunters in the Ring City. And so, yeah. I really do enjoy like a lot of the boss fights of the DLCs. It's kind of like funny how each game's DLC seems to have like the most memorable content to a certain degree. And then Merc says, Gale and Midir are your favorite Dark Souls bosses, bar none. And then Nymph says, you can play without grinding for gear, but it'd be tough, yeah. So Fovo says, you want to be a writer? Yes, to a certain extent. I do have some ideas that I'm kicking around. I do have a lot more world building and fleshing out of stories that I need to do, though. So, yeah. Latako says, you can't play Monster Hunter because you can't play games without any lore whatsoever. I thought there was some lore in the items, but I guess like a lot of the lore is just kind of like really straightforward. Kerm says, Old Hunters bosses are the hardest. Even knowing their movesets and playing them 20 plus times, you still die to them all the time. And then Otako says, Demon of Hatred and Orphan of Cost are the only bosses you think are downright unfair. I don't think the Orphan is unfair. I have more problems with Lawrence than I do with Orphan. Although, a lot of it really does come down to like the weapons that you're using and your playstyle. Like I've said before on stream, like my first time that I fought Orphan was on New Game Plus, and I was using the Threaded Cane. I would have killed it my first try. And I'm not like trying to brag here. Like I would have one-shot him had I not backed off in the third phase to kind of see what he was going to do, because I heard so much of the hype surrounding the Orphan of Cost that I was like, oh man, this dude's going to do some crazy stuff, so I want to see what it's all about. And then I got killed by the lightning, because I mean I got hit by that because I was trying to see what it was doing and like where it was going, but I didn't expect his follow-up attack, so that got me, which is fine. But then I killed him my second try, so I was like, Orphan doesn't seem as tough as some people are saying. So that was my initial reaction to fighting the Orphan. But then when I played with the Chikage, he just beat the ever-living crap out of me on New Game. So yeah, it is a bit weird sometimes how like the weapon can really influence the playstyle and how difficult the bosses can seem. So yeah, that's kind of my anecdotal story with the Orphan. And I think the other times that I've played him on stream, I've killed him probably within about like 5 tries or something like that. So I don't know. He's definitely weird in that regard, where he's either like impossibly difficult or he's just like another boss. We got the Twinkling Titanite. But yeah, I really like the Orphan fight overall. Like I like the pacing of it, the ambience, just how badass he can be about it. Oof, got stabbed. Stabbed in the face. Alright, let me look at chat again. And then, Power Gaming Central, welcome to the stream. You said Demon of Hatred only has one phase, the one where you jump on the wall and let him fall to his death. No, I fought him for real. Like, Demon of Hatred was definitely tough, but I had fun doing it. Like, learning the little strats of, like, using the hook to, like, get onto his back and deal a bit more of the poise or posture damage. Oh, these are spell bastards, aren't they? Oh, that one's not. So yeah, the Demon of Hatred is definitely tough for a lot of people. I think I definitely like died to him a few times, but it felt like every time I was dying, I was still making progress, and he didn't feel cheap, I think is like the main takeaway that I'd have for it. And so, yeah, like the only boss that I thought was cheap and for a long while, or well, let me rephrase this. The only boss that I felt was cheap for a little while was like my first time doing like Genichiro. Because he has like one of the arrow moves that just comes out extremely quickly. Not the one where he does like the 3 volley at a distance. But like if you're like close to him, it almost seems like the shotgun type thing where he just hits you for what seems like no reason. And so Genichiro was the one that was like, what the fuck for the longest time. But yeah, once I got the hang of it, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was still bad, but like, you kind of felt like you became a god to beat a god with Sekiro, which is always like the most wonderful feeling in gaming, which I really enjoy about all of these games. So enough with that kind of monologuing. Flashy, thank you again for the £5. I do appreciate it. It does make it easier to continue the stream. And so Otako says you've beaten every Souls game about 6 times. And Merc says Orphan of Cost isn't even bad. He's designed to be backstabbed over and over. And then Kerm says, the only reason you put Orphan below Lawrence is the fact that you can parry him. Yeah, but Orphan second phase gives you diabetes because it's so sweet. Saturn says a good game to Flashy. And there's lore in Monster Hunter. Okay, so that's Senshin. Senshin, welcome to the stream. It's nice to see you. Glad you can make it for a little bit. Gabriel says, yeah, you can handle Dark Souls and Bloodborne fine since you have multiple ways to deal with enemies, but in Sekiro you either learn how to parry or die. Okay, yeah, I think that's an interesting way to look at it, I suppose. Phobos asks, have I read A Song of Ice and Fire? No, I have not. I did want to read it, and I still do to a certain extent, but like with the ending of the show, I've kind of put that on postponement until probably the series is finished, just because I really hate the wait, and so that's kind of why I am trying to avoid a little bit of the Elden Ring news to a certain extent, because the wait can really drag us down. Well, not us, but me. Like, you know, I'm pretty impatient. So, like, at this point in my life, like, I don't even like to start watching anime unless they're completed series. Just because I feel like I'm that impatient and I want to know what's going on more. And I say that, but I mean, like, I just started watching Jujutsu Kaisen earlier this month or last month. And, I mean, I'm enjoying myself. I really like it. I just hate having to wait a week for a new episode to come out. So I might try to catch up with the manga, but I mean, it's just kind of like a glutton for punishment, because I'll binge it all and then it'll be the exact same thing instead of waiting a week for an episode of anime to come out. I'm just going to be waiting for the manga to come out, essentially. So yeah, that's all for the upper portion of Irithyll, and so as we come out, we'll come into a swamp. Did I just see some? Oh, it's from my embers flying about. So yeah. Otako says you also one-shot him your first time, but it was playing with 99 Arcane. The problem with him is the melee. He does far too much damage and he has too much health. Flashy says, you spent tens of hours in the Chalice Dungeon after fighting Ludwig, so when it came to Marie and the Orphan, you had some downright OP gems. Yeah, and that can also influence things. So when I first did the DLC, I did it in New Game Plus, and I think I'd already done the Chalices, but I don't remember. Either way, when I got to Ludwig for the first time, he absolutely stomped the ever-living crap out of me. Like, I crashed against him so hard, but I was always really thankful for that fight, because he showed me like a lot of my bad habits as a player, and that as soon as I'd get hit, I'd pretty much just panic roll, which he punishes perfectly in his phase 2 with his double sword swing. So I learned to kind of be a little bit more patient when going into that. So yeah, the Ludwig fight is very near and dear to my heart. It might be my favorite in the DLC, just because I don't know, I just feel like it was designed extremely well. Like, not to say the Orphan wasn't bad, or not to say the Orphan was bad or that Maria was bad, but just like I could feel the thought that the developers had put into Ludwig compared to some of the other bosses, I guess. So I think there's another invasion over here. Or maybe I just got invaded one time by actual players. I don't remember. Okay, maybe not. Alright, and then I'll look at the chat again. So Fobo says it took you days to beat it with a threaded cane. With the Orphan? Okay. Oh, you had a really easy time against Orphan with the Chikage? Yeah, so was my first time with the Chikage. I wasn't really feeling the weapon. I guess I was just kind of like over-relying on the hit stun of the EI strike. The like the sheathed L1. So yeah, I was probably pretty bad with the Chikage, to be honest. But it was an interesting like change of pace. And then when I fought Lawrence with my Blood Tinge build, I just shot the ever-living shit out of him with the Evelyn and the Bone Ash stuff. Like I got stuck. This is weird. It's like got me programmed for like deep water right there for some reason. And he said if we didn't kill the beast from earlier, he'd show up down here. Interesting. Okay. I don't remember if the spider dudes disappear after you kill them. I think they do. So we get a man grub over here? Okay, I don't think I ever really noticed that it was a man grub. Oh, okay, but we can actually get a decent look at its staff there. Maybe I should have gotten grabbed. Oh. So yeah, they do disappear once you kill them. They can shoot out like that toxic breath. They seem to be a cross between like a spider and a centipede and like a person, obviously. They do remind me of like the blood lickers in Bloodborne just because like the long hair. But I mean, that's kind of more cosmetic than anything. Well, I guess they also do like feast on death and whatnot, but yeah. Okay, let's just try to get grabbed then. I guess it doesn't grab. I guess it was also dealing a little bit of chip damage, but okay. It's kind of a bad angle, but you can see like at the I can't point at my TV and show you, but like at the base by the hand you can kind of see the outline of like a foot, and so there is like a person on the finger catalyst, whatever, the staff, whatever you want to call it. We get great heal from this corpse. Okay. I always feel like there's more to this swamp, and it's just kind of a little bit disappointing. Just with maybe they wanted to actually like make an easy swamp in a FromSoft game for a little bit, but yeah, okay. Flashy says you spent... Okay, I checked that one out. And Gomez, or Professor Gomez says, listening to what I read on the chat, do you think Sekiro is the hardest game of From Software? You want to play it, but you're really bad at timing in games, even though you've beaten Dark Souls 1 and 3 and Bloodborne. Yes and no. I feel like Sekiro has, like, the highest skill floor, and, like, maybe the steepest learning curve would be the way to say it properly. But once you do understand and master Sekiro, it becomes a lot easier than the other games, because there's certain mechanics that you can use to kind of like punish things, and even if you're really bad at the game, you can also cheese things a bit with like some of the shinobi prosthetic tools, like the firecrackers can really make a lot of the content really easy. So yes, it is difficult. I mean, the worst case scenario, I would say like try it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. So if you're really worried, you might want to consider like renting the game if that's still an option where you are. I know like renting is a bit less popular nowadays, but I think GameFly or similar services still exist. But if not, I would still say like maybe wait for a sale for the game, because it's a few years old now, so it'll probably be much cheaper overall. But I would definitely say give it a try. It's a really good game, even if it is a little bit difficult, but it's not like impossible. It's just a little bit harder without like having summons and stuff, I guess. So Flashy says you may have missed it, but can someone give you a quick rundown of the lore for these ghost witches? Are you talking about the ones like the dark people in the houses? Because I'm not entirely sure myself, but I would almost think there'd be like an item or something that touches upon them a little bit. When speaking of items, we did get great heal, which I think we've already read from like one of Irina's stuff or spells. So, glorious miracle used by high-ranking clerics restores a large amount of HP for self and those in the vicinity. Only a select few have learned to recite this epic tale in its entirety, but those who do are amply rewarded. So yeah, not too much stuff. It just shows that the fingers also had like clerics in their covenant or within their ranks, or however you want to say it. Actually, now that I think about it, wasn't there like another secret entrance by where the illusory wall was. Now I need to check. I feel like maybe not, but... Okay. So Kermit the Derm says, Sekiro has the hardest learning curve, but once you learn it, you're unstoppable. Yeah. Vernixt Excelsior, welcome to the stream. You said, speaking of Cos, or some say Cosm, doing your first arcane skill build, any tips on how to use it effectively against Cos? Probably going to get the church pick. With Cos, like, a lot of it is just knowing what you can punish and, like, really just staying kind of close to Cos and dodging into him. Like, a lot of people mess up, in my opinion, just, like, by backing off and respecting his power, which, I mean, yeah, I totally understand the want to do that. However, if you treat Cos more like a stereotypical gigantic enemy, it kind of works out a bit better. Because once you get behind him, he doesn't have as many abilities to kind of punish you. Not to say that he doesn't have any, because you'll still need to, like, use your head about it. But, backing up makes him more of a pain to deal with. Oh. But yeah, for arcane stuff in general, I'm not terribly familiar. I think I've only done like an arcane run once, and maybe I didn't finish it, but yeah. Just being able to find the time to either buff up if you're using like the buff style arcane, or figuring out what you can punish. If you're like doing like the more ranged arcane, you do have more opportunities to be a little bit safer against him. I guess those ones have more health. Maybe they're larger. Not too bad. But I know we've got a lot of Estus with those 2 extra shards from earlier. So yeah, normally if we come down here, I think Grey Rat would be dead. Is it around here? Or I think there's another like secret area in here as well, now that I think about it. I mean, I know there's the spot with, what's it called? A Sigurd and the brew, the soup. So hopefully Patches or Sigurd saved him already. Oh, okay, maybe it's this room, I think, that I was thinking of. Shit. He wasn't saved. Oh wait, no, maybe no, this isn't his, because it would have said Grey Rats. Okay, yeah, I'm just freaking out for a second. Excrement covered ashes, aka poop covered ashes. Unclean umbral ash coated with excrement. Perhaps it's possible the handmaid of Firelink Shrine could turn this into a few new things. Oh, to savor the sweet pungency, but once more. If I remember correctly, like the Japanese on it is more like, she's sure to love this, and it's more like sarcastic, I guess. So I think like some people are like, oh, Miyazaki's just like, oh, the undead wish they could poop again. Is their takeaway? Okay, so there's a Sigurd again over there. Like in my head, I still keep calling him like Squidward, and I have to really think about Sigurd instead. So enough of my rambling. Kermit the Derm says, okay, I read that. What Elden Ring news exactly? Oh, missed it. Oof, looks like I'm missing a bit of the chat. Okay, here I am. Power Gaming Central says, but Sekiro also has the fairest boss fights because every boss has a distinct weakness, mostly ninja tools, that lowers the difficulty by a lot. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess I didn't use a lot of the prosthetics except against like a few of the bosses. But you're definitely not wrong. I guess it is a bit more like Mega Man that way. Phobo says, you understand the feeling. You started reading Chainsaw Man yesterday because you learned it had finished. Okay, yeah. Effervescent Soliloquy says, you feel your last protagonist on anime and having to wait. You remember when Kekkai Sensen came out? You think it was in summer, but because the last episode was 30 full minutes, it was delayed until Christmas. Oh. Flashy says, that beast would drop down from the bridge here? Oh, okay, if you ran past him at the start. So he drops down? That's pretty cool. Kerm says that Ludwig is very difficult and taught you better roles. He was your guiding moonlight. And Otako says to Vernix to just spam the Executioner gloves. Professor Gomez says, the Ludwig boss fight has the best music ever in a boss fight. It's like a dance during the second phase. Yeah, and that was a really cool, like, thematic tie-in, the way that they, like, timed the music into that cutscene and everything. Vernix says, thanks for the tip. Should make Orphan easier in an arcane skill build. Might go for an arcane-infused Rakuyo if that can be done, as it will be able to get fast hits in. And then Saturn says to Flashy that the Irithyll1 slaves, you're not sure if it was covered, but they're laborers. They also likely make the blue bug pellets and are secretly worshipping Yorshka by going to Yorshka. Oh yeah, going by Yorshka's spear. Yeah, I totally forgot to read that, so thank you for bringing that back up. Because I would have forgotten for sure. So this treasure gifted to This treasure, gifted to the Yorshka Church, is enchanted by a soporific spell and was surreptitiously worshipped by Irithyll slaves. As a weapon, it is part spear and part hammer, the former allowing thrusting and the latter allowing strikes. So, pacify, raise this spear in prayer, and temporarily wear down enemy FP with each strike. So yeah, I wonder if there's like a picture on like the base of the hammer part as well. So I wonder if, like, just like the wording on it, it almost makes it sound like the hammer, or sorry, the spear is worshipped by the slaves, but I'm assuming they're talking about the church in all actuality. Okay, yeah, thank you for bringing that up again, Saturn. So, Phobo says they kind of look like the centipedes from Bloodborne. Okay. And then Vernix says, you honestly somehow found Sekiro easier than Dark Souls towards the start. You've always been good at pulling out your shield just in time to block an attack in Dark Souls, so you had the parry reflexes early. Yeah, and so if you're pretty good at parrying in Dark Souls, like, it is a lot easier in Sekiro to a wide degree. Like, you can just kind of, like, flicker, spam L1, and you can parry a lot of things. It's very forgiving. Like, if you don't know how to parry, the game is kind of punishing, but if you can parry, it's very forgiving for the most part. And parrying is, like, the easiest way to break enemy stamina, or enemy posture, so, yeah. It is a bit unbalanced in terms of like forcing people to parry as opposed to like thinking of creating creative ways to reduce enemy posture. Phobo says, you wish demos were more commonplace these days. It's the best advertisement you can give a game. You never really got stuck with Sekiro. You feel the game is pretty clear about what it wanted you to do the whole way through. Yeah, as far as like demos go, there are a few of them like still lingering about. Like, I know like the Triangle strategy game has a demo out. I still want to play it. I just need to actually like sit down and give myself the time to do it. But yeah, demos are definitely nice. But it is also like a double-edged sword because sometimes like demos aren't always representative of the final game. And so it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Flashy says, you suggest giving Sekiro a try, but spend some time practicing with the undead guy at the start. It's worth it. Once you get the timings down, it's a great experience. Kerm says, the fact that you can parry every tag in Sekiro travails the gameplay. And then Flashy says there's a bonfire near here, right? Yeah, I think there's another one near here. I know there's the one by the stairs, which I already grabbed. So I might have, I mean, you might have already typed that by the time I got to this comment. Vernix Excelsior says, you gotta agree with the dodging tip you've given. Remember getting destroyed on your blood-tinged strength build because you were always trying to dodge backwards and get a heavy strike in. Yeah. Okay, and then Saturn, thank you again for plugging in the Discord. So yeah, if you guys aren't in the Discord, it's a nice place where we can continue to have more like lore discussions, and if you join, I can also give you alerts of when I go live. So yeah. Sounds like my dog when she's sleeping. Not really, but... Well, let's try to get a cozy one. break the basket. Maybe this will be good enough. It'll probably be in the right ear, though. Ugh.
Excuse me, I must have dozed off. It's rather warm in here. Well, hasn't it been all too long? It's good to see you. Oh, I seem to have missed my chance, so I, Siegward of Katarina, offer my deepest gratitude. And a little surprise to go with it. It's all yours.
Emit Force. I guess I needed to talk again, whatever.
I know. Won't you join me for dinner? I make a fine Estus soup. I've got some stewing right now. Even we undead deserve a little normalcy from time to time. And finally, upon this rendezvous, let us make a toast. To your valor, my sword, and our sworn duties. Long may the sun shine.
So it's cool that you kind of like auto toast him, I guess.
Have you heard? Somewhere, hidden right here in Irithyll, is a deep dungeon. And even below that, the profaned capital, home of Yhorm, the reclusive giant lord. That reminds me, I've a grave promise to keep.
So yeah, that does establish that Siegward may have had a relationship with Yhorm, which will become more relevant when you go to the profaned capital and potentially summon him for that fight. And what else was I going to say about that? Yeah, so I do wonder if like the game is telling us maybe to deal with Yhorm before fighting Pontiff Sullivan. I don't really know like the kind of canon order for the boss fights, I guess. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm afraid I've cast a cloud over things. Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast.
And then he just abruptly falls asleep as normal. So that's all of his dialogue for now. You can always drink the Estus soup, but I guess we already took a sip of our Estus. Maybe that was the one I already had in my inventory. No, I still have 6. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about the soup for now. Going ahead, kind of goes forward through Irithyll, or do I want to go down to the profaned capital? I'm not sure what I want to do right now, actually. So I guess I'll catch up on chat and then decide what we should do. And so, Chesterness, welcome back to the stream. And so, where were we? Ascension says Chainsaw Man is amazing, and then Mortis Volt says the Attack on Titan manga is ending on April 9th, so I can probably read that. Yeah, maybe see what the Fallout fan reaction to that is, because it's been pretty tenuous so far. Vernix says, honestly, you found Ludwig kind of easy in your Strength Arcane and Strength builds. Sorry, I totally butchered that. You found Ludwig easy in your Strength Arcane and Strength Blood Tinge build, but you guessed it was probably because you had a Fire Paper Whirligig Saw to rely on for easy staggering. Yeah, and certain weapons for sure make fights a lot easier. Like the Whirligig Saw is just really OP, and like the super big bosses that give you the time to use them on it, or use it on them. So yeah, not knocking you, but yeah. Ludwig, he is interesting. He can be difficult depending like what weapon you're using. Kerm says, according to what you've read, you are supposed to fight Yorm first. I guess that kind of makes sense. That maybe you're not supposed to turn off into this side area beforehand. So I guess we might go down to the Profane Capital first. It's a little bit of a letdown just because Sullivan's easier to get to. Maybe it might be a good time to end today then, just because we are already 3.5 hours in. And I do want to only stream for about 3 hours at a time, or 4, like depending on like the flow of the game. And so I do think that this actually might be a good spot to stop for now, because we've got either like the whole Profane Capital before us, or like all the Sullivan stuff. But yeah, I guess I'll do the Profane Capital stuff first, because I do like the Profane Capital, even though I really like the Sully fight. So yeah, okay. Time for soup. Ascension every time he drinks, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, pretty straightforward stream for the most part. It felt a little bit low-key just because like all of the reloading and dealing with the enemies here. A little bit slower, but that's fine. Definitely got a lot of cool footage, especially with the Beast and the NPCs. So once again, thank you all for dropping in for the streams. It really makes like getting footage a lot more interesting, and you guys being able to tell me if I'm screwing up on the quests or expand a bit on like some of the lore that I don't know has been immensely helpful for my understanding of the game so far. So it's definitely been something I've appreciated doing with you all. So once again, we will continue this stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was the same time we started today. If you join the Discord, you do get those live alerts, and so hopefully that'll help everybody out. So hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow, and if not, hope you have a good week or a good time until the next time I see you. So, alright, have a good day, and remember, fear the old lore.